They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
If you want the chance to be featured across our social platforms, just tag at UKC Dogs or at UKC Hunting Ops on Instagram, and you can tag UKC Coonhounds on Facebook, or you can use the hashtag DogsThatDoMore.
Your puppy only gets one start to set the foundation for a lifetime of performance at your side. Fuel growth and activity, support digestive health, and give him a training edge to one day flush, point, track, retrieve. So when the gear comes out, he'll be ready. Make every milestone count with game-changing puppy fuel. Eukanuba Premium Performance Puppy Pro.
To the 2025 United Kennel Club Coonhound World Championship. I am your host, Jamie Estep. Alongside with me, I have the fan favorite, Rick Stretch, and Mr. Steve Burkholder. We are in Portland, Indiana, getting ready to go to the final cast just momentarily, and we're excited that you have joined us. Also tonight, we will be joined by Alan Gingrich as we get live updates from the field. We'll be going to Alan just in a few moments to get the last minute moments before the cast headed to the woods. They are en route. But before we go to Alan, let's meet our panel of experts. I mean, don't you love how I say that word, experts? I mean, these are the guys right here.
Why you?
No, I haven't went to. I see. This is the problem. I go to Rick, and he already starts talking. Okay, so I had you first, but since you couldn't wait till your turn, let's go to Steve tonight. Go to Steve first, okay?
Go to short, Steve.
This is expert Steve Burkholder here, okay?
What kind of lotion you got on there? That's pretty smooth, really.
You're taking his time. Steve, tell us what you think about tonight.
Well, I tell you what, we're certainly excited to get to join and spend the next few hours with all of you out there that are tuning in. Certainly want to say welcome to this evening. We're super excited to bring to you something that's always exciting for us. It's the final cast, and just super, super excited, Jamie, to watch it all unfold. We have 3 very talented hounds. Know a lot of these guys, know a few of the dogs, so just super excited to bring to you guys live on the final cast.
All right. Well, I'm sure Rick is excited. Rick, you should be rested up. Last night,
I am.
As we were going through rounds 2 and 3, I looked to try to find you. And
He's probably in the corner sleeping somewhere.
Steve was actually working, talking to the handlers and things, and we couldn't find you.
And yet here I sat.
And here, because you went to bed.
Here I sat.
You went to bed at 7:30 last night.
Yeah, well, getting prepared for the Ohio State game today.
Okay. Did they win?
You know they won.
No, okay.
You know they won.
We're at a coon hunt right now. So
yeah.
Can you tell us what you think about tonight?
I don't know. How do they keep putting on a grand event year after year after year, and this one's just the same? I mean, it's just super here. Where instead, use Steve's word there that he used about a dozen times there, but it is a super weekend for us. And the hunts went off real smooth. I think Alan said earlier today that, and probably knock on wood here, but we haven't had a question all weekend. We've had some good scores. There's been a lot of raccoons treed. The weather's been good for us. It's just been perfect. Another perfect weekend for the World Hunt.
And depending on how the programming goes tonight with our footage from the field and things, we're going to be able to talk some tonight about the hunt, on the number of coons that have been seen, the number of coons that have been scored. And it's pretty good on the average count of coons that was scored per cast. It's right around 4 coons.
4.5
or something like that. And so that's a testament to Matt Lingo and the guys here at Limberlost and the folks within the hour of the opportunity of guides. But before we talk anything about that, let's go to Alan and let him recap the last few moments of the hunters before they left to go. They got about a 15-minute drive to the final cast location. So Alan, are you with us? Can you tell us what was going on?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm here and I'm excited to be here at the Jay County Fairgrounds as well. First time I was here was in 2005. That was my very first World Championship working with United Kennel Club. Was right here at this very fairgrounds here, and they have made a lot of improvements here. It was nice back then, but we come here this year, 20 years later now, and the fairgrounds is just a beautiful grounds here, and we've had a great 3 days here. A great weather, man, the enthusiasm, anticipation has been through the roof. Every night. Thursday night is that first night we have a meal. We have all the hunters here, all the dogs, 108 dogs here. Just an exciting day. You move into Friday, the round 2 or the round 1 winners advance on Friday to the early round there. We've got a handlers meeting. We've got 27 happy handlers here. I have a nice meeting, have a couple dignitaries here. We had Bright Eyes here. Ray Conrad was here. He talked about his light that we gave away, a bunch of lights. We had Philip Foster giving a little positive speech. It's just a great evening to kick things off last night on Friday night in round 2. Those hunters went out in 9 casts and 9 casts on Friday night in round 1, and those 9 winners came back. They went back out in the late round in 3 different casts, and those 3 casts late last night. Early this morning, actually, we had 3 victors, and those are the dogs we're going to be talking about tonight. We're down to 3 dogs now, and you're going to hear these names all night long, and they're going to become pretty popular here pretty quickly. And I'd say even today already, you're going to hear a lot about Smoke, Ann, and Breeze. Those are the 3 names. Those are the 3 celebrities here left over to decide this World Championship here. Smoke here, he's a 3-year-old dog. He's owned and handled by J.R. Gray out of Kentucky. Now, JR, I remember him in 2018. He came to Mount Gilead to the finals with a dog named Willie. And I would say JR was pretty green at that time. And wow, how have things changed since then. JR won that World Championship in 2018 with Willie. Willie turns out to be an excellent reproducer since then. Tonight, he's hunting this Smoke dog who is directly off of Willie. So you're going to hear the guys talking a whole lot about that. And not just that, at this, now 7 years later, JR Green is not that, or JR Gray is not that, he's pretty seasoned veteran, you would call him now. He's got a lot of hunts under his belts. He's been here before. So it's going to be interesting how he handles this stage tonight. Like I said, he's been there before with Smoke's daddy, Willie. Ann won our Tournament of Champions merely 6 months ago, back in April. Won the $50,000 there. She's won a truck or 2 in another registry. She has been a winning dog, one of the winningest females you're going to see today. John Strickland is on her, and you're going to hear a lot about Ann. So here's another thing. She's also off of Willie. So there's kind of a double thing for J.R. Gray there. So I'd say you're going to see the stock rise, the Willie stock rise for sure. Again, as if it hasn't already. Number 3 is Breeze here. She may be the underdog, but I'm telling you, don't count her out at all. She's being handled by Brandon Hathaway out of Kansas. Brandon hasn't been hunting for the last 10 years or so. He's been playing baseball with his boys, doing a little coaching, I think it is, but Brandon wore out a bunch of boots hunting dogs back in the day for Jess Dickerson. With Jess Dickerson, for those of you who know, had the Nocturnal Nailer and all those nailer dogs back in the day. Trust me, Brandon knows what a good dog is. He's got a good dog here, and Breeze is one of those. This dog is owned by Fred Tennis of Minnesota, but don't count her out. So Smoke, Ann, and Breeze. Smoke is a 3-year-old. Ann is a 5-year-old. She's going to be the seasoned veteran here, and then Breeze is only 2 years of age. But I think it's going to be a fun cast here. I'm looking forward to it. And we met with the judges and the guy just before we sent him out. Jamie asked me, what's the last thing we did? Well, I tell you, the last thing we talked about is just a couple of what ifs. So in case there's any questions, any ties, anything like that, just talked about some hunt specifics and things like that before we sent him off. But I can tell you the mood is awesome here. The atmosphere is great. The temperature is about 74 degrees still as we're speaking right now, but I looked, and here in the next hour, it's going to drop several degrees, and by 10, 11 o'clock, it should be down to mid-60s. Looks like it's going to be a great night for coon hunting for sure. So shaping up to be a great night, and the cast is on their way out as we speak. Tonight we have Ryan Davidson is guiding the cast, one of the local club members here with the Limberlost Coon Hunters Club. Got a good, solid judge judging this cast, Mr. Chad Showalter, very seasoned judge. Terry Tappy is going to be his assistant judge for Chad Showalter. Our officials tonight in the field, they're out with the cast. They're staying at the trucks. Our officials are headed tonight by Mr. Curtis Sparks. He's one of our field reps out of North Carolina. He's also going to be backed up on the panel by Philip Foster out of South Carolina, along with Doug Kunda from here in Indiana, and then Brandon Scalf of Kentucky. We also have our own Trevor Wade, our Coonhound Programs Manager. He's going to be our infield reporter. You're probably going to see him. Hopefully we have decent service out there where you're going to see Trevor Wade checking in with you all throughout the night here. But he's going to report some things back to me either way. And we hope to bring you a good hunt tonight. And so kick back, folks, relax, and I hope you enjoy the show tonight. We're looking forward to it. And man, it's an exciting day. It's the World Championship final cast. So hope you're rooting for your favorites here. And with that, we're going to toss it back to the panel here.
All right. Well, thank you, Alan, for that recap and the excitement, the atmosphere, everything that is ready to go to move into the final cast. Alan gave you kind of a recap of today. I want to take you back a few months ago as this journey began. This journey just didn't begin on Thursday when the 108 dogs showed up. We actually put 104 dogs in the woods. I want to share some numbers with you. Over the process of the year to get to this point, there was 3,311 dogs entered in RQEs all across the country. And that's the first step of becoming the world champion, and that's in attending an RQE. And so if you want to be here tonight, a year from now, the first thing you got to do is attend to RQE and get qualified. Those will begin in January. They'll usually typically start in the south and kind of move north as the weather becomes better. But those will begin in January. So again, 3,311 dogs qualified, or actually entered in RQEs, 808 dogs qualified. Then we had 531 enter in zones. And as Alan said, we started here on Thursday night with 104 dogs in round 1, then down to 27, then down to 9, and then down to 3. As we get ready tonight to talk about a couple different things, I want to give a shout out very quickly to the clubs that hosted zones. If it were not for these clubs, we would not be here tonight. The Quincy, Michigan Club, the Jefferson, Ohio Club, Flora, Illinois, Sedalia, Missouri, Rogersville, Tennessee, Coffeyville, Mississippi, Orangeburg, South Carolina, and Paris, Texas was the site of the zones that took place a couple of weeks ago. And so great job to all of those clubs. Now, let's take a look at the stars of the show tonight. We're going to take just a moment and we're going to move through three of the three finalists. You're going to get to see the dog, you're going to get to see the pedigree, and you're going to get to watch a interview that took place today in anticipation of tonight's hunt. The first dog that we're going to look at tonight is Night Champion Midnight Breeze, owned by Fred Tennis and handled by Brandon Hathaway. Let's take a deeper look into this dog, Breeze.
All right, guys, I'm sitting here with our first finalist of the night, Mr. Brandon Hathaway, and his female Midnight Breeze. Congratulations, Brandon.
Thank you.
Man, big accomplishment here to be in the final cast of the World Championship. Have you ever made it this far before?
No, sir, I haven't. Yeah. I was here in Portland when it was here before.
2005?
2005, hunting a female, got a run over.
No kidding.
Leading the cast, so
got a run over here at the World Finals?
Yeah, at the World Finals.
Holy smokes.
She lived through it, ended up being Get Back Jesse, one of the top reproducers of all time.
No kidding.
Yep.
What a story. What a story. Now, actually, 20 years later, here we are straight back. Have you hunted in the World Finals since then? Or
I've been in the final several times since then. So, top 100, I don't know how many times, but several times.
Gotcha. So, we have Breeze here. Tell us a little bit about Breeze, how old she is, and maybe what her lineage looks like.
Bree is a 2-year-old. She belongs to Fred Tennis out of Minnesota. Fred's a really good friend of mine. We've hunted dogs for him for years, hunted some together, owned some together. I had actually been out of hunting for about 10 years.
Yeah.
I just pleasure hunted, didn't competition hunt much. Fred called me in January and wanted to know if I would hunt this female. He said, man, I think she's got some potential to be really nice.
Yeah.
But I need someone that'll hunt her because he can't hunt in the wintertime. Up there it's so cold. And I said, man, I'll hunt her, but I'm not going no hunts. I said, it's all up to you on that part. I'll do the hunting. About a month later, he said, what do you think? I said, I think she can win. He said, that means you're ready to go? I said, no, I'm not ready to hit the road.
Yeah.
And then we went from there. And about a month later, my boy calls and said, Dad, let's go up to a little hunt up the road. It's only about an hour and a half. Won't you ride with me? I said, I don't think I'm interested. My wife said, you might as well just ride with him right along. So we've been going every weekend since.
Ever since.
So yeah, it's been fun.
When you got a good dog, it makes it kind of hard, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was kind of looking at the lineage. You know, you talk about Fred being up in Minnesota. You're over there in Kansas, and you look at the dog's lineage out of Morris's Pack a Punch. That's out of the famous Power Pack, and She's Not Easy cross. And I can't remember the bottom side off the top of my head, but that's kind of some Southern dogs. I wonder how she made her way all the way up there.
I don't know. Fred's always got an knack for finding good dogs. He's owned several good ones, and he's got a knack for finding them. He knows how to find them. She was young when he bought her, just a pup. So.
Yeah. But she's made the transition over to your guys' country pretty good. The way
pretty well. She hunts our area good.
Yeah. So what do you think about tonight's hunt here in Portland? Is the hunting terrain similar to what you would hunt in Kansas?
It's very similar. Crops and little patch of woods. We got river bottoms and creeks, which we got into that first night here. And when I noticed on my Garmin there's a river there, I sent her straight across the cornfield, 900 yards. I said, get me to that river. Yeah. That's what she's used to.
Nice. Well, we'll talk a little bit about your weekend here, but you know, it's funny how I didn't know of the dog when we came into this weekend. It's funny how the word of mouth travels. Already on Thursday, I had a couple people telling me, hey, I would watch this dog. I think it can make a real run at this thing. And then here you are. That's funny enough. Can you tell me a little bit about how your weekend, maybe starting Thursday night, just summarize the cast?
Yeah, Thursday night's cast, we tree right out at the gate, and she has first and first. And I don't treat her. I'm kind of leery because all the times I've hunted her, I've never seen her treat with a dog.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, what's going to happen with 3 male dogs pile on this tree with her? So I laid back and took third tree, and the boy from home I knew got first tree on it. And then we cut off of that, and she trees a den, and he trees another coon. And I thought, oh my! And that's when I cut her across that cornfield towards that river. Well, she got over there and treed 3, and got me back in it. So that was probably the break I needed there. You know, just getting over there and getting where there was coons at, and he got out of pocket and went the other way.
Yeah. So Thursday night seemed like coons were stirring. We treat a bunch of coons. I think we treat. On average, like 4.6 per cast over the 27 casts Thursday night. Last night seemed a little bit tougher. I don't know what the numbers were down a little bit. And you guys had to hunt 2 2-hour casts last night. Tell me a little bit about your Friday night casts here.
Yeah, well, the first round, like you say, they wasn't moving as good. Yeah. we had to call timeout. She got over and got out of pocket, got by highway. So we called timeout. I got her caught, went to the next spot, and she treated coon right out. And then we recut, and she gets in and gets, I don't know, she was bogged down at something. She spent about 30 minutes in there, and the country boy dog treated 2 coons while she was in there, and I thought, man, he's gonna come back. And he actually made another circle tree that if he'd have had a coon, he'd have beat me.
Wow.
You know, so I had a break there, and then in the late round, it was just tough. Yeah. Coons wasn't down moving. She made 3-4 trees and never made a ground bark, and that's not her.
Yeah.
You know, she was just coming treed. Yeah. So had 2 big circle trees and then 2 coons.
Yeah. It's actually warmed up a little bit today, and I know it's been dry here. They had a little bit of rain this week, but I think it's still a little bit drier than you'd like to see it right now. What do you think it's going to take tonight to get one more cast win?
Man, I think if a guy can tree 3 coons, you'll be good. But I'd take 2, but I think it'll take 3 to win it.
Yeah. Well, man, hey, I want to wish you luck and congratulate you here. Final cast, you're already in the Final Cast World Championship. A lot of people try for that a lifetime and never make it. So win, lose, or draw, you're already a winner in my book. But hey, 2 more good hours. I look forward to hunting with you tonight, and I want to wish you luck.
Yep. Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Number 1 in the final cast of the 3 dogs. Again, that is Night Champion Midnight Breeze, owned by Fred Tennis and handled by Brandon Hathaway. The second dog that we're going to look at tonight is a dog that is very well known, and that is dog number 2, that is Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann. And that's owned by John Strickland, Ashley Oxidine, Doug Galbraith, Randy Smith, and is handled by John. I'm not sure. We've got a little bit of some technical difficulty right now, and so they'll let us know when we can go there. We'll kind of go back for just a moment, guys, and we're not going to really get into the dogs at this moment till we can get everything viewed, but I am going to come back to you guys, and I just want to ask you guys a question very quick. You know what? I know we've talked many times, Rick, about you being here, but let's take away that, okay? As these guys drive these final 15 minutes, what do you think is taking place in the minds of the handlers and even the backup handlers as they go to the woods tonight? Rick, talk to us about that.
I think they're running, as far as for me, and I think it would probably be the same for these guys possibly, is they're running different scenarios running through their mind. You know, they're headed to the woods and they're kind of starting their play game right now, I think, and they probably are, you know, they're thinking about the first turn loose. Don't make a mistake. Don't call the wrong dog right out of the truck. And we heard it earlier in the week. I think Steve talked to somebody about it while I was standing around, and people still get nervous. I believe it was Randy Smith. Yeah. Said he still gets nervous on that first turn loose.
Let's go back to something that you said again. And I want to give a shout out to UKC. One thing that I would say to all of our listeners and to all of our viewers tonight, check out the UKC podcast. They are actually a wealth of information. You will enjoy them. They drop, I think, weekly, and go on and take a listen to those, and I think you'll really like what you're hearing. But let's come back to Rick off of that. And you said they're probably running through their minds of scoring situations and scenarios. And you had said something in your podcast, walking into Frisky's tree when you won the world. I think it was on the late round of the late round when time was over. Late round of the final round. And you made a decision walking into that tree that you weren't going to let anybody else shine the tree, just you and the judge. I was going to
ask for that option.
That option, and you had that right to do that.
Right.
What made you, because you had said everybody had really been sportsmen and tried to shine trees, but you had played something out in your mind of why you were going to do that. And I know why you did it, but what made you think that moving into that?
Quickly, the 2-hour regular hunt time was over, and we had no winner. We had no plus points. So we gathered the hounds up and we moved to another spot, and we cut loose, and I was in 4th place at that point. And we turned the dogs loose, and we all got struck, and lucky for me, I got struck first. She and the dogs put in with her, and we had 4 split trees off of that track, which Asa Briggs, the dog, come treat first, circle her up, we shine like gangbusters. At that point, we were trying to have a world champion. You know, I don't think any of us out there were trying to just be our own self, worry about what we were doing. We were trying to get a world champion out of this. Go to Scudder, he has a coon, brings him even with the board. So which Scudder, even with the board. And Lincoln and Frisky had went, I'm going to guess 250, 300 yards to the left, and they treed. And I actually
they together?
I actually got wrote down for 75. I knew when I treated her, she wasn't with Lincoln, but you couldn't really tell that. I just knew her by her voice. And we get to Lincoln, he's on a giant, some kind of a cedar tree or pine tree, Steve. I don't know that I've ever seen a needled tree that tall in my lifetime. Buddy. And Frisky was about 40 yards away from him, treed on another tree. And we shined, like you said, shine like gangbusters on every tree. And we shined Lincoln's tree hard, and we did not find the coon. And when I left, we had 2 circles and a plus on that deal right there. And when I left that tree of Lincoln's and the cast started going to my tree, I thought, my gosh, we've all shined hard. We've probably missed a coon or two in this grouping. And I thought, man, how am I going to find a coon here? How's the easiest way for me to find a coon? And as I'm handling her, I'm thinking, nobody shined but me and the 2 judges. And I asked for that option and got it granted, and I never even shined. I didn't shine. And I thought, man, these 2 guys, maybe dim lights, whatever else, maybe we'll find this coon right away. And within a minute, the 2 judges had found the coon. And I don't know if the strategy worked or didn't work. Maybe we'd all found it. I don't know that. But that was a scenario that I was running through my mind when I got to that tree. Many lights ain't working. Maybe 1 or different. 2 might work. And we pulled off that tree there, and we still had 30 minutes left to hunt. But that was the last tree of the night.
And that was kind of interesting to me listening, because you think sometimes going into a tree, you know, more lights, but you played out a different scenario.
I don't know when I've ever thought of that.
I was going to say, have you ever asked for that before?
If you would have been with us and seen how we could all shine Lincoln's tree, but there could have been a young bear up there and we wouldn't have seen it. Yeah. No thermals back in that day, and we didn't have any obstacles around us. Really, he treed in an area that's kind of cleared out, and you could shine all the way around that tree. And like I said, you could have built a small home out of that tree. But when I come away from there, I was kind of, I'm not going to say I was let down, and I took a deep breath and thought, well, we avoided one there. But I just said to myself, hey, let's go with a dim light here and see what happens. And it worked. It worked.
That's right.
I don't know if it was right or wrong, but it worked.
All right. Well, Steve, we're going to come back to you with the question that we began with. If you were taking the ride tonight, the 15-minute ride to the final cast, what would be playing out in your mind? And then I have a question to follow up to both of you guys on that. So, Rick, Steve, what would be playing out in your mind?
Certainly be nervous. I always shared. I shared with a group of hunters earlier last night when Randy was talking in that conversation when we were sitting around there, and I believe that's the thrill. It's the thrill that why you do this for. And I think if you're not a little nervous as that goes, I think you probably the sport or what you do is maybe passed you up.
Yeah,
because that's why you do it for. And if you don't get a little nervous, what's it really mean to you? I guarantee, even though that we have 3 very seasoned handlers, the stage is not too big for them tonight, but there's also that nervousness as you go out there, running scenarios through your mind, knowing that 2 dogs, some of these handlers know each other's dogs very well, and they know they're going to, it could take a break or 2, depending on which way they go or whatever. So certainly just trying to calm down before you get to that first drop.
Now let me we were talking about, Steve said it great, that we have 3 seasoned handlers, and the stage is not too big, the stage is great, the stage is ready. All right, but we also had on Thursday night 104 dogs go to the woods, 27 advance. So that tells us we had several dogs going home on Friday. I just gave the stats to our viewers. 3,311 dogs entered over the country. we just got word that we're back up and running, so I'm gonna come back to this question because I wanna hear your guys' thoughts on this. But the next dog, we wanna make sure that you see our dogs tonight. The next dog that we're gonna look at is dog number 2 in the final cast, and that's Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann, owned by John Strickland, Ashley Oxidine, Doug Galbraith, Randy Smith, and handled by John. Let's take a look at Little Ann. We'll get back to you. As soon as we can know that we have our videos ready, we'll get it to you guys as well, because we know you want to see Little Ann.
Were you back there messing around earlier?
I've not done a thing. I mean,
that's where you come from. That's where you come from, Rick.
This thing has been so smooth with Steve and I up here all week. And then you disappear back there while you've tripped over something back there.
Well, that's possible.
Broke a wire.
That's where the camera needs to stay right there, folks. Just keep it right there. And Steve, we'll take over from here. But
you got it. You want me to slide my lap up? See, look what you done when you took over. See, exactly. Right there is the answer. Okay, that's God saying, "Shut up." Okay. So, all right, let's come back to my question. All right, we've starting out 3,311 dogs. Viewers watching tonight, can I ever get there? 104 hounds. What would you speak to the guys that's going home? Because we've been here and we've all taken that trip back home, and we've all been to those RQEs and not got in. I remember a long time ago in one of my classes that I had to read a book called Failing Forward. And I say it all the time as a pastor and as an educator, you never fail unless you stay permanent when you fall. And so as long as you're falling forward, move if there's growth coming out of it. What would you say to a handler, to a trainer, to a dog owner tonight that maybe you're sitting at home watching and eating popcorn tonight, but what would you say to that guy to get here next year?
Well, I got a great analogy on that, and it kind of goes in with this. I always said it's not a matter if you're going to fail. I read the book Failing Forward. It's a great book. I always say if you're going to fall.
Did you read it?
I never heard of it.
That's why,
I always said if you fall on your back, because if you can see up, you can get up. And that's the same way with this hunt. I really believe that. You know what I mean? I was really surprised. It's a great point. I was really surprised this weekend on talking to some guys that have been to a lot of big hunts and won quite a bit. And we heard on the Thursday night interviews on how many of these, this was the first time they had advanced to the top 27. So for all of you out there that have aspirations of coming to the World Hunt, you can get there. There's a lot of people that hunt for years and don't make it to that top 27. But what I love about our format is any dog, any handler can make it to this spot. And age doesn't matter. Obviously, if you have a little more seasoned hound, chances are it just seems to work out better, maybe less mistakes or whatever. But I do believe a few years ago when the World Hunt was held here, there was a young female, I think, a year old or 2 years old, 20 months old or something like that on that side of it. So,
all right.
Absolutely.
We are ready. Let's try this again. This again is Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann.
All right, guys, we're here with our second finalist in the 2025 UKC Coonhound World Championship, Willie's Little Ann, with the guy owners here, John Strickland, Ashley Oxendine, Doug Galbraith. I didn't catch your name. RJ. So, man, World Finals. Have you ever made it this far here before?
Not at UKC.
Not the UKC World, man. So you and Little Ann have had a heck of a weekend already. I guess we can kind of start out with that a little bit. Thursday night, you guys had a pretty good hunt, looked like.
Yeah, we did. Every hunt up here has been a nail biter down to the end.
I say you've had some close.
It's been
some
unbelievable.
Close ones.
Yeah. We won a minute and 28 seconds left. I had it won for the first hour and something. I had first and first on the coon, had 225. No dog drew a minus, no dog just had circle points.
On the spot there.
Minute 28 left, so that was early last night. Then late last night, had a tree pretty late in that one too, didn't you?
Yeah, we turned loose and they all get struck ahead of me. Hoosier Daddy's been on a roll.
Yeah.
Crash just won the Super States. I mean, I thought like I had the hardest draw. When it got down to that, of all of them, two really good dogs has been on top of the game.
Good to great.
And turn loose and Crash strikes right here off the lead in front of us and runs a coon around the truck or runs something around the truck. And Daddy just does the same thing. And Crash gets treed 60 yards from me. I strike it like 900 in there. And Crash
It's all about having people
gets
on the
treed, and
right
he's got a big walnut tree. We can't find it. I'm like, well, I dodged a bullet there, you know. And then Daddy gets treed. And going to Daddy, I'm like, you hear me in there? He said, yeah, tree me. Go to Daddy. He's got a big tree. Can't find nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, you're in trouble now. Walked to me about a mile, and I got a coon.
You need to turn loose or whatever.
Come back, and I cut her back loose, and come back, and he treed the Crash dog, and the two caught him, and then he retreed him, and he treed Daddy. But I really felt like we got in a little oak ridge at this point, and I felt like Daddy's going to tree another coon, you know, or two. And get in there, he's got a coon, give me, 150. I've got 175. And now Crash is treed. She's 1.52.
Yeah.
And she's treed. We walk up, we step out there, you can hear, I don't know, there's 15, 18 minutes left. But normally, me as a handler, I'm in the lead. I'm not going to do anything until he trees another coon and makes me, you know. And I knew that, so I set them in and I said, if there's a chance we get out of here and this dog, because so far I'm kind of going to kill myself. So I just had confidence in the dog. I said, hey, tree me.
Yeah.
And I headed to me, and they called me and said, hey, you care if we score them out of order? I said, no, that's fine. Well, the Crash dog couldn't win. He had a coon, but it didn't matter. When they went to Daddy, they give him 300.
Yep.
So I had to have a coon. And I knew, before I got to my tree, I knew he already had a coon. And he's got them, you know. So I walked down a gully, mile and a half walk. You know, I walked down a gully, and when I popped out in this field, this is the biggest oak tree I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was as big around as, it was as big an oak tree there is in this state. It was huge, and I'm like, ain't this beautiful, you know? So I sure have to sit there like 40 minutes and wait on them.
Man.
And I just sit down, and they get in there, and, you know, Nick says, man, I got a chance. It's a huge tree. And I said, what's the odds? And get in there, and they said, start time. And I look up, and he's straight above, just hanging on a limb, sleeping.
What do you think it's going to look like tonight for Ann to pull out another monster win tonight?
To win, I think she's got to do what she does, just go tree coons. She keeps her nose clean, and where she's going to get struck, I don't know. Sometimes she'll strike for 100, and sometimes she'll strike for a quarter. You know, It's just according. She hustles, and she's not an automatic strike dog, but she out-hustles a lot of dogs and gets in there. And I'm going to say she's going to be by herself. And I think to win it, honestly, she's got to treat two coons. And I think two coons wins it.
Yeah.
Two coons and no minus. I think we can win, and if she'll go out there and treat 2 or 3 coons, and we don't, then I'm going to congratulate the man that does, because they did a good job, you know.
Well, I look forward to hunting with you and Ann again, same as we did back in April at the finals. I want to congratulate RJ, Doug, Ashley, and you on making it here to the final cast, and I wish you luck tonight, man. It's going to be a fun hunt for us, and we'll find out who this year's world champion is, so good luck to you.
Yeah, we'll see. Appreciate it. You guys do a great job.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We enjoy it.
Congratulations to Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann. So far, you've met 2 of the dogs. That's Night Champion Midnight Breeze, Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann, and now you're going to get to see dog number 3. That is Grand Night Champion Willie's Smoke Show, owned by Ellis King and J.R. Gray and handled by J.R. Let's take a look at Smoke.
All right, everyone, we're here with our 3rd World Championship finalist this year. We got J.R. Gray, Ellis Keene, and then we have Willie Smoke Show here. J.R., tell us a little bit about Smoke Show.
He's a 3-year-old. He turned 3, I guess, last month, right before the Autumn Oaks. He's off of Willie and a Mojo Mason female.
Yeah. Just you've been in the same situation just a few years ago, 2018, with this sire. What does he have a similar hunting style to Willie, or?
Yeah, he's pretty similar, the good and bad, you know. But he moves around real good and usually has a coon when he gets treed. So.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your run here this weekend. Start maybe just briefly tell us about your hunt Thursday night.
Okay, so Thursday night there we drawed 2 good dogs. Smoke treed 3 singles by itself, and then the other boy's dog treed 2.
Yeah.
And then we moved on to Thursday night. He treed the only coon Friday night. He treed the only coon Friday night, and then we rolled into Friday night late, and he treed 2 singles as well.
Yeah, man, it's been a beautiful weekend. I think Thursday probably the coons were moving a little bit better than they were last night, it seemed like, and today it's even a little bit warmer and maybe drying up even a little bit more. What do you think it's going to take to win this final cast here tonight?
I think if we can treat 3 or 4 coons, we'll probably be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be some good competition. I went and seen the final cast location. They got a good woods that they've saved for this final cast location. Obviously, the coons are abundant around here, so he performs well in this sort of stuff. Do you hunt him in a lot of this patchwood type hunting?
No, not really. We got a lot more woods at the house than what they got up here, but we do come up here and hunt with Eric quite a bit, so he gets his chances.
Yeah. Well, I hate to take any spotlight away from him, but I want to focus on his sire a little bit because we're talking about here in the final cast. We have 2 pups out of Willie. What you got to feel pretty prideful about that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a blessing, man. It's awesome to see. You know, we hunted Ann, then John got her, and he's won so much with her, and now we got Smoke. I mean, he ain't got quite the resume she does, but you know, he's got potential.
Yeah. Yeah, you and Ellis, you guys have had, man, a lot of luck over the past several years with a bunch of good different dogs, not just Ann, but Scar. You guys, obviously you had Connor, the run you guys made at the Tournament of Champions. You guys got a pretty good thing going on, I think.
Yeah, we're blessed, man. We got a lot of people at the house that helps, and you know, obviously we can send dogs up here and they can get hunted when we can get Eric out of the house. So
yeah,
we got a pretty good system, good group of people.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, I look forward to hunting with you again. It's been a while, I guess, since you won the TLC with Connor, since I've been out there. Or I guess we went to Autumn Oaks final cast too. So, man, you've had some good luck with these dogs over the past several years. I congratulate you here for making another World Championship final cast, and good luck to you guys tonight, man.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely. Good luck.
All right, well, welcome back. We've got, all right, we have shown you the 3 finalists that have stood the test of time, that have withstood the competition, and they are ready. They are getting ready to be turned loose here in just about a minute. We're going to be going live to the field, but we want to say one more time, congratulations to night champion Midnight Breeze, Fred Timmons, handled by Brandon Hathaway. Grand night champion Willie's Little Ann, owned by John Strickland, actually Oxidine, Doug Galbraith, Randy Smith, and handled by John. And then Willie's Grand Night Champion Willie's Smoke Show, Ellis Keene and J.R. Gray, and handled by J.R. Gray. Here we go, viewers. We're going live to the final cast. Now, just to let our viewers know, we're having some, it's going to be a little bit choppy, but we're going to do our best to bring it to you very quickly what we can see. They're doing their probably pre-turn loose meetings. They've already told you guys that Chad Showalter and Terry Tappy are our 2 final cast judges, and this is where I'm sure the emotions are rolling here.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, it's getting ready to happen. Let's talk just a moment. We know that they are about 15 minutes north of when I was talking to Matt today. They're about 15 minutes north to Ryan Davidson's property, to some property that Ryan has. And Ryan, if you've been here a part of the World Hunt this weekend, Ryan and his wife has been working very tirelessly in the kitchen. Ryan's been there. And I knew this
You probably spent a lot of time there this week.
I stopped a couple of times, mostly just to talk, but
actually that's not hard.
We know. So now we see they're actually moving to the woods. So
I've hunted at this spot. If they're at a real good spot.
I have too.
Yeah, this is it's a pretty clean woods, as you can see, walking there, and should make for a great night of scoring if the game is moving. So. Absolutely.
So we're hoping we can get some actual where they're turning loose and moving into that area. Hopefully we'll get there just in a moment. But as Steve said, it's a very good woods. I know talking to him this week, it's an area that there's not a lot of coon taken out of. There's a lot of coon put in there as well. Yeah. So they truly expect a good scoring night. So the dogs are loose at somewhere about 8:46, and we'll begin to get updates, and hopefully we can get some updates from the field for you. So we are loose and in process of the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship. is Mr. John.
So while we're kind of freezing in and out of here, John mentioned that the snack time this evening, I can make this real quick, that 2 of the casts he won this weekend, him and Ann won them in the last 2 minutes, and he won the 3rd cast by 25 points.
Yep.
So you talk about a little bit of luck going on. It happens in these hunts.
There's JR. If you take a look at your handlers.
Handler of Willie, or the smoke show. Obviously, John there in the blue shirt, handling Ann.
And to all of our viewers that may not understand or realize, they're looking at their Garmins right now. That is legal within competition, and there's a collar on their dogs that allows them to know where their dog's at. It tells them a lot of information. We must have some striking or something going on. I'm assuming John's writing stuff down, but we know John writes a lot down anyhow.
It reminds me several years ago, first time I ever drew John out, I was introduced to that part of it because he's typically hunted a little farther south of here where you may score on 1 or 2 or whatever, and he had come up to Michigan area for one of these events, and that's the first time I was introduced to someone having a notepad and writing it down to keep track of what's going on for the cast type situation.
He actually had to get a new notepad today because I stole the one out of his truck earlier this morning just to see if he was going to get one, and he did. He
There's
one up.
I believe that's Brandon.
That's Brandon.
Hunting the
Breeze female. So as soon as viewers, just to let you know, as soon as we get updates from Trevor to Alan, we will get that to you. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to have any audio in the field yet tonight, but we will get you updated just as quickly as we receive anything. Okay, so I'm hearing that we're going to have an update here pretty quick. John must be getting thirsty standing still. I mean, that's, so we'll get to Alan here momentarily for an update. Well, actually, we're getting told right now Alan is ready for an update. So let's go to Alan. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I am here, and I do have an update from the field. They do have 2 dogs struck in about 90 seconds into the hunt. Breeze struck first for 100, and Smoke struck right behind her for 75. So both of those dogs are working close together. So you got Breeze for 100, Smoke for 75. That's what I have right now.
All right. Well, Breeze was the first one to draw there, so we'll see what happens, and you can kind of tell everybody is just listening, and so now they're moving. Well, at least John's moving. He's just leaning.
Yeah, got him a prop.
And we will also tonight at different times bring to our viewers the Houndsman Advantage app, be able to see a little bit of what's happening from the scoreboard aspect of Houndsman Advantage. If we want to show that to our viewers, we can. This is presented to us by Houndsman Advantage, one of our sponsors. And as you can see on this app, we have Breeze would be our first dog. You see she's holding 100 strike. Little Ann is not struck at this moment, and Smoke Show is holding 75. And then we see at the top, we have our judges, Chad Showalter, Terry Tappy. And this is available through Houndsman Advantage. There's different levels. And so I would advise all of our, or recommend, I should say, all of our competition hunters out there to take a look at this. It's actually a service that's a great job by the folks at Houndsman Advantage. And so we'll be referring to this quite often through the night, especially after scoring situations.
It has worked flawlessly over the weekend.
Yes.
I was so impressive.
It's been an exciting addition.
Yeah.
Like, getting to follow along for those that got to tune in last night. It was on YouTube, Houndsman Advantage, and got to see the scorecards rotate through there and got to see updates on it. Matt, obviously a huge part of the event this weekend, does a fantastic job with.
All right. Well, we're getting another update from the field, and so we got to go to Alan. Alan, what do you have?
Yeah, hey, we're going to try to bring you as much as we can from the field when we can, but right now we don't have the audio, having a little bit of trouble out there. So until then or during any of that time, I'll be communicating with Trevor out there, and that's what I'm doing here. So we've got the two dogs, Bree struck for 100, Smoke for 75, and Ann is also now treed in for 50, and she's on a little deeper in behind those guys, and that's what I have for right now. So all dogs are struck in.
All right, so you hear it. All dogs are struck now, and we'll be waiting for updates from the field. We will get you we'll bring that to you just as quickly as we can. As we're waiting to get updates from the field.
Just to clarify, Ann is struck for 50. Nothing is treated.
Nothing is treated for 50. Yep. Ann is struck for 50. Yep. Struck for 50. Let's come back, and we kind of got cut off there for just a moment. What would you say, and we're going to Steve, what would you say to those competitors about, okay, well, before we ask that question again, we're going to go right back for another update,
Absolutely.
All right?
Exciting.
Alan, what's going on?
Hey, got a dog treed. 5 minutes into the hunt, got one dog treed, and that's going to be Smoke. He's about 420 yards from the cast, and so he's not far off, but we've got one hooked on right now. Smoke's got the first tree of the night.
All right. Well, we'll be waiting on that update to see what happens to Smoke, and we could be getting our first scoring situations. But let's come back to Steve. Steve, what would you say to those guys and ladies tonight to be able to be here next year? What would be that first step?
Well, the work starts right now. A lot of people think that you're going to get ready for a hunt of this magnitude in July or August of next year, but you start right now. You start kind of thinking of, what that looks like, if you have the dog that's capable, that you think is capable of doing it, and then start putting the work in this fall and throughout the winter. And you hear a lot of these guys, they spend a lot of time. It's tonight the success comes from a year long of getting your hound ready. Maybe not by necessarily the guys that are hunting it tonight, but somebody was putting the work in on that side of it. And the reason for it is the more you do it, putting yourself in more situations when things like that happen. So you kind of know, because one misstep when you get to a top 104, regardless if it's a dog mistake or regardless if it's a handler mistake, it can be the difference between winning and losing. And we've seen that a lot this weekend. Either a handler error or a dog error, literally a minus point or whatever it may be, or maybe not treeing too quick, was the difference between winning and losing. And just to simply a strike, we had a few casts where a strike difference made a difference. So it's all in the will to win is in how you prepare to win. So it's certainly repetitive, and also, it does make a difference understanding your dog on that side of it, making sure that you have a dog that is capable of taking to that hunt.
Rick, what would you say?
It's a team effort. I say it every time I sit in this chair. It's a team effort, and you don't see people winning the World Series just preparing a week or two in advance. You don't see these Super Bowl wins coming a week or two in advance. It starts the year before, like Steve says. When people leave this hunt, the guys that are hunting, that plan on hunting it next year, start next week.
Yeah.
And they create a team between them and their dog. There may be another group of guys involved, or some more guys involved in it that helps get the dog ready, get the dog prepared. Maybe one guy takes the dog to a hunt this weekend, somebody else takes it another weekend. It's snack time there this evening, and talking to John some more, him and Ellis had Smoke and Ann out Monday night, and they hunted till way late in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and that might have been the last time they hunted them dogs, getting them ready to come up here. But it was just kind of fun to hear him say that. Yeah, we were getting prepared Monday night.
And to your point on that, what was interesting about that, didn't know this, but for the viewers, obviously John and Ellis and some of them are very good friends, and they hunt together back and forth, and they've hunted these two dogs together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think he said something like 50 nights in the last 2, 3, 4 months. So they're very familiar with the tendencies of each one or whatever, but the point on that is 50 nights, and I was following along on social media today and just was looking at some posts and stuff, and there was guys here Thursday night that hunted got beat out, and they was hunting last night. So they didn't stop at that point in time. They're already preparing the night after, and we got 364 days till the next one comes around.
And I think I was going to say two things out of it is number one, if people will ever understand the power of consistency, the first thing that you have to do is enter. You have to show up. I mean, I would say to our viewers, go to the RQEs, get yourself qualified. That is the first step. And then just be consistent. Show up. If you go to an RQE and you get beat, show up to another one. Consistency is so strong, and that would be my piece of advice. Second thing is to talk about the team. I don't know as much about Brandon and the folks that are involved with him, but I do know with JR, there's always a team entourage that follows JR.
They pull into these hunts in 2 or 3 trucks, and there's an entourage. And they're all friends.
Yeah,
it's just a friendship type.
JR and I was walking over here to the live sets building, and he cracked a joke to me. But it's serious. Is I know the last 2 wins because Smoke was in the final cast of Autumn Oaks for National Grand. My cousin back where I'm from got the final 2 wins on Smoke to become Grand just the weekend before Autumn Oaks, and And JR said, make sure you say something about Alan tonight. So Alan Day, this is your chance of prime right here. I'm telling you, congratulations.
We're not going to Alan.
No, we're not going to Alan. It's a different Alan, all right? But I'm fulfilling JR's wish right here for my cousin. But a second question that I've been waiting all weekend to ask, and we've got some time. We've got some moments here, and I don't know how long we're going to get us to take us through this, okay? But I want to ask this question. We talk about the podcast, and I love listening to both your guys' podcast on ranking the, let's take a look. They're at Smoke's Tree right now. And Smoke is sure a good looking something, I can tell you
Just for y'all out there that at this tree, they have 8 minutes to shine the tree to see if they can't locate the evidence.
Okay. And we're not sure, as Steve alluded to the 8 minutes, we're not sure what process of time that we went live with this. So we could be a few minutes into the 8, we could be just beginning of the 8, but we know that 8 minutes will go fast for JR. We know that. And I think sometimes the longer it goes into the 8, the harder they are to find.
The harder it is to find, I think. I was just thinking the same thing. You know, you get down to that last 2 or 3 minutes and kind of bummed out. Or
he's handling them off, and
so
we don't know at this point.
Something has happened, so we'll see. We might actually get this in, and I've been told that we're going to try to go to the field and see Trevor live in the field. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but that's going to be our goal, to bring footage to you from the field. We'll see. And I'm sure JR is going to get him cut just as fast as he can. So hopefully we will get there.
So what are they in? If you guys have hunted there before, is this a big flat section or?
It's very flat.
Flat for the most part.
Looks like they were on like some kind of lane or something when they went in there.
Just drive back off the field, right off the corn patch.
They have scored this tree, and so they're now walking away from this tree to release Smoke go back to hunting at large. And even if another dog is treed, he still gets to release whenever he's led away from that tree at a reasonable distance. So I'm sure JR, depending on the score, we'll get an update when we can get it.
Okay. It doesn't look like, Steve, we're going to be able to get to Trevor right at this moment, but we are going to get an update from Alan. So, Alan, let's go to you.
Yeah, so they have scored Smoke's tree now, and he's going to get circled up on that tree for Smoke. So circle those points, strike and tree, and they are on their way to Breeze right now. She is also declared treed. She's only about 200 yards from the cast, and they've got 15 minutes and 50 seconds gone when they started walking to Breeze. Back to you guys.
All right. So we see our Houndsman Advantage app coming up. We see Smoke has been circled both ways, and we see our top dog Breeze is now treed in for first, and that's Mr. Brandon right there.
They're there.
Yeah, so we have made it to Breeze's tree, and as Steve alluded to just a moment ago, we're in the 8-minute process, and probably in the early stages of the 8-minute process. So, looks like a good sized tree too. She's a good looking thing as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's so important on this, talking of here as they're shining here, getting a little bit of audio. One would have to think that first set of strike points is always important at this level. Certainly.
And it looks like their video got a little better here. They might have gotten into some better service here. As a handler, I just don't like that time moving closer to the 8-minute mark. I like to see them quick.
She's got a really nice mouth on her.
Yeah,
good sounding.
I'm enjoying hearing her.
You only get to hear dogs twice a year, right?
Yeah,
Since you don't get off the couch enough to...
Yeah, lucky for me that I still get to hunt these 2 nights a year.
Are you typically in bed by this time?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I am.
Well, we haven't heard the words yet, the famous words, "I got it." So we're still waiting to hear that.
Just check the temperature here in town. We're sitting at 71 degrees here in town, so we're probably in the high 60s out there where these guys are at. I just noticed that both them dogs were a little bit warm whenever they were treeing.
Still, when you can get into the 60s, you know?
Yeah.
Keeps dropping as the night progresses. Had a lot of hunters comment on last night being a little muggy.
Yeah.
Thursday night being a little bit muggy. It didn't seem quite as muggy tonight, but it may be.
It's pretty good. I mean, which we expect. 2 trees in 15 minutes, 17 minutes, something like that. So it seems like we're going to follow the suit of treeing several coons. So what we've been told for our viewers, just to update them, Smoke has now been struck back in for a quarter. And so now we have Smoke struck in for 25.
Which would be next available. That's what was been available for him to be struck back in.
And holding 50.
And holding 50. So we know when Breeze is cut back, she would be able to be struck back in for 25 as well, which would be because of Ann holding 50.
It's always amazed me in this scenario. They pull Smoke off and they release him. And just to give you an idea, on how talented these dogs are, is he struck back in for a quarter, trailing another track while a dog is treed in this scenario. So
I looked at Breeze's card, I think it was from round 1, and this was almost the same situation she was in. She had, after her first tree, she had three fourth strikes, 25, 25, and 25, and then 3 first trees after her first strike. So I know she was being recut.
So I looked at her scorecards here this evening, and she was up to tonight. She'd been called treed 11 times, and she had 8+ trees and 3 circle trees, and she's hunted the weekend without any minus.
Yeah, and she's racked up 1,300 plus points up to this point in them 3 casts. So she's very
kept coming in, and you just kept in the back of your mind or in the background. Breeze won our cast, and you hear, and then you hear it the next round. Breeze won our cast, and really wasn't paying close attention to her, and then all of a sudden here she is right here in this final cast and hunting for the world title. And I played it back today, and I thought, I kept hearing her name all weekend,
And for the most part, looking at her card, all I think but 1 tree had first tree and all but one.
All but one tree. That was the first
he
tree.
said he mentioned that in the interview tonight on that side of it, but to take and have 1,300 plus points in 3 rounds, especially hunting late.
So we see from the video, Brandon's getting ready to handle her, and then we seen just previous the app come back up to show where Smoke had been restruck for 25. That was Ryan. That's Ryan that Brandon was just talking to, getting, I'm sure, direction which way to turn her. And so that's Mr. Ryan Davidson, our guide. Hey, Trevor is out there.
We see Trevor texting.
They want an update.
He may be
maybe we're going to go live here.
Pause there, Bayer. We'll have to go chase them down. They're just cutting loose there. Oh, they want an update?
Man, with that tight shirt on, he could usually
Hey guys, we're just in here at Breeze's tree of the night. So far, we've had a lot of action. Real quick.
Trevor, go ahead.
First off, Breeze struck for 100, followed by Show for 75, Little Land for 50. So far, we've had Show tree first. We got in there. His tree was ultimately circled. He got recast for a quarter, while Breeze got tree, got in here, and her tree was circled as well. So while we're in the process of doing this, Show's actually tree again. We're going to go head to him. He's only probably less than 200 yards away. And last I heard, Little Land is about 600 yards away. She's struck in a cornfield. So we got a lot of action going on right now. So we got to sit tight. Let's see what kind of footage we can get you guys.
Little Land is about 600 yards away. She's struck in a cornfield. So we got a lot of action going on right now.
So we haven't seen the scorecard yet, but Trevor just reported that Show is treed back in for 125. And what did you say? Ann was about 600 in the corner.
In there. I could barely hear him, but I think
he said in a cornfield.
Certainly, it sounded like maybe something had been retrieved.
But I think it was Smoke that was retrieved. If he had said.
Typical in Ann fashion. This is with her being struck for 50. Now, obviously, the other dogs are struck for a quarter, so that obviously puts her in that situation.
All right. Well, we have been just told that Alan has an update for us, and we'll probably get everything more official right now. So, Alan, you there?
Yeah, so we have the first two trees that are circled. Obviously, it was Smoke was circled, and now also Breeze. But Smoke is also now treed again. So I'm not sure if we got that from Trevor or not. But Smoke is treed again on his second tree. So they'll be scoring him again on his second tree here real soon. Back to you guys.
Yeah, because Trevor said he's only a couple 100 yards, and it looks like now they've come into some easy walking. Now, as they're walking into this tree, Rick, well, I'm sure it won't take them long to get there. And always when I ask you a question, it takes you a lot longer to answer. But now, is this hunting, from the way you described the hunting on the podcast to the final cast in Louisiana, this is very similar, right?
This is nothing like what we had on the final round of the World Hunt there in Louisiana.
I thought this was kind of similar and stuff.
No, this isn't.
Looks like they're walking out across the bean field.
Yeah.
You can hear smoke.
Yep.
We'll let our viewers listen to smoke as they head in.
Right on the edge of the field. That's always nice.
This is a good scoring situation.
Yeah, good scoring.
JR is handling. Here's again. Hopefully you get another interview from him.
I'll put them up here on the top card. Big woven wire fence right there, tied to that tree. Like a bunch of cop cars out there in the middle of the bean field.
The way they're looking at makes it think that they maybe they can go deeper.
Trying to see a crossover maybe is what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking just to put into perspective here, they may have seen one in farther behind.
Nobody's got a thermal out. That's amazing to me. And they all agree not to use one tonight.
Appears that he's treed on a mid-sized tree, possibly.
Go in and get him over. He didn't in his other tree. Go in and get him over.
That's our other two handlers.
He didn't in his other tree.
Always when I've walked into in the past, to me, with a tight even wire fence like that, and you handle in there,
What are you getting at?
Well, what I'm saying, I always make in my mind thinking, you know, and when I'm hunting, and for me, it always makes you think on that side, you know.
What's that, Spike?
The ones you hunted probably had their head sticking through one of the squares, though, instead of standing up on that nice tree.
Most of the time, they was not quite as athletic built, so unless they could waddle across it.
I used to call them in fences.
Hey, if dogs aren't used to it, it can be, it can certainly be tough. Not saying in this situation.
Satisfied, JR?
There's Chad, the lead judge.
3 minus.
He said he was good.
Getting questioned. 3 minus. 3 minus. I feel like the game's up there, bro. No, sir. Getting questioned.
Got another dog in the back
Hey,
there.
here, you don't think so? No. I think we need to find out.
Yeah, you can.
I think I just have a Kenny trying to. Well,
I can still out hear you guys, even at my age.
That's really not an advantage.
Sitting here.
Sitting here.
And JR is, I wonder if he chose to lead in too, so he should have somebody treed.
The latest update we had, the smoke was struck for a quarter tree for 125. Again, as we shared earlier, having a little bit of difficulty in getting the audio, but it certainly sounds like there is another dog barking close by for sure.
We have Chad, that's our lead judge, and we have John and Brandon right behind them. All right, well, we can go to Alan. We can get our official update now. Alan, can you tell us who we got treed?
Yeah, well, I've got bad news for smoke fans. They did see a coon, but not in his tree, and they didn't find a path over to it. So they called that a big miss right there. And Smoke is going to get a hickey on that guy. So minus his strike and tree on that one. And yeah, you do hear a dog nearby, and that's Breeze, and she's declared treat again, and they're headed in her direction. She'll be the next dog to be scored. So with that, back to you guys.
Well, that could be that could be tough.
That can be tough, but he's overcome it. Smoke has overcome, looking at his card from last night, he had treated a coon and then had pulled a minus and come back and treat a coon for the win. So it's not impossible to come back from that, certainly.
Yep. And so now we have, as Alan reported, if you see the app, we have Breeze struck at 25 and treed for 125. Still yet, we've not gotten a report on Ann. And so we're at about 34, 35 minutes gone into, so we got basically an hour and a half left. Little Ann is still sitting there at 50. And I'm sure we'll hear from her soon, or at least get an update on him. But we're walking to Breeze, and I'm assuming we should know that Breeze is not far if we could hear her over the coverage. So we should be getting to Breeze's tree just any moment. And hopefully we can get our first bit of plussing. So we might have run into some more technical difficulty there, but we'll see. I think we can say, nope, we're back to us on the stage. So we'll see. So I'm going to come back. I've not got to ask my question that I've wanted to ask since being with you guys on Thursday night. I wanted to ask it driving up just for some entertainment tonight. But I want it to be a fun question as well. And we'll jump back if we can live as well. Watching your guys's or listening to your guys's podcast, you got to rank the top 5 dogs that you guys have owned and hunted for different people. I knew by being with you guys, I knew who was going to be number one for both of you guys right off the bat. I knew. It was interesting hearing your dogs moving up to the number one. I knew Steve was going to Droop Jr. I assumed it was going to be in there somewhere for you. And I knew some of your dogs was going to be the Beller dogs, so I kind of knew. But Steve, we knew Big Country was going to be your number one, and I knew Frisky was going to be your number one. I know this is a real hypothetical question, but what would a heads-up cast, if it was the finals tonight and you were handling Big Country and you were handling Frisky, what would happen in that cast tonight? Who would prevail? Who would be the winner? And I'm going to come to Rick first. Rick, what
well,
would
I don't
you
think
expect?
Country would have made it to the final round. As we're looking at this cast here tonight, we're surrounded by Walker dogs out there, and I seriously doubt if Country would have made it to that round.
Now you heard me say hypothetical,
To his credit, I don't know much about the blue tick breed, but that dog came around at a time that I feel like the blue tick breed needed a shot of something new, a shot, and he's not, his bloodline's not new, but his talent was new, and kudos to Steve and a few more of them there for bringing him out there at the time that they did.
So we'll come back to Steve to give him an answer here.
At least let me try to defend myself.
We give the answers again.
And
give the answer.
But we are. We have arrived at Breeze's tree, and I'm assuming, but then we also have an update from Alan. Alan, what do you have?
Yeah, well, they have already scored Breeze's tree, actually. So they found a coon in her tree right away. So there we've got plus points right there. So they're going to be walking her off the tree here now and cutting her back loose. So we do have a coon on the scorecard here. First of the night goes to Breeze.
All
Alan,
right.
have you heard? Have you got an update on where Ann's at, or have you heard any news from Ann? I mean, she's carrying a 50 strike, which is awful powerful right now if she gets treed and they see a coon, but we haven't heard much about where she's at or how far.
Yeah, no, Rick, I have not heard anything on Ann, but I will see if I can check in with Trevor and get a report back on that. And I'm sure our Ann fans would like to know a little bit, and I'll try to get some news on her.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
All right, so there we have it, our first coon,
first raccoon treat.
our first one of the night, and probably somewhere about the 40-minute mark being used at this point in time. And so we're not at halfway point yet, but we're getting close. But Steve, here's your chance, man. How would this cast go? Because he never really spoke about his dog, Frisky. He just talked more about Big Country.
He knows. He knows. No, honestly, it would be a very good cast. Both dogs very talented. For me, anything could happen. Obviously, I would think that what Country would lack in dog power, I certainly as a handler probably would make up for on that side of it. We're talking to.
I never noticed that before, but I'm glad you got the confidence.
We're talking to a couch potato now. So hypothetical certainly I think that's where the advantage would come in at. Honestly, years ago I remember, I don't know if Rick recalls this cast, but I was hunting my junior dog the very first time that Rick got to hunt with him.
Yeah.
And we was hunting, and they was trying to, the last thing you want to do this was 20 years ago, last thing you want to do is get beat by a blue dog, and he ended up winning that cast that night. Really probably the only time that I can recall that I hunted a blue dog against Rick or whatever. And he dominated that cast that night, and I remember Rick said, "But it's been a long time since I've seen a motor in a hound like that, let alone a blue dog." So maybe the same thing would have prevailed.
All right,
for sure.
Well, we have an update from Alan. Could be about our Ann fans, and so Alan, what do we have?
Yeah, I do have that. I just spoke with Trevor, and he said they can still hear her. She's working a track in the cornfield. She's about 600-700 yards from the cast, but she's been working this whole time, so that's all we have. So she's in the cornfield working.
Oh, all right. Well, we know where Ann is at now, and maybe she'll get it figured out and get it punched out of there.
And I can tell you, in that scenario, being in a cornfield like that, sometimes as a handler, well, that's. And talking to John today, he had that scenario happen to him yesterday or last night, I believe he was talking about. where she got in a cornfield and finally ended up working it out of her way through there and got treed just with a few minutes left to go in the hunt to seal the deal or whatever. So, the crazy thing on dogs is some dogs are really good in corn, but you can get a coon running in a cornfield even with talented dogs and have a tough time getting them out of there. So certainly for him, I guarantee he's hoping that at some point this one or the other gets tired real quick to certainly get out of there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to ask one final question to you two, and then we're going to go to break just in a moment. I think you referred to him, or one of y'all referred to the other one as a couch potato and things like that. My question is, do you guys even own a light now? I mean, or do you guys, have a light if we had to go hunt?
I've got
tonight?
2 of them, but I don't know where either one of them are at.
I do carry my stuff in a tote.
What for?
Well, I've always had that.
They're not going to ask you to do anything here.
All right. Well, we're going to get ready to go to break. We want to thank you to all of our viewers that you've joined us. Stay with us tonight. You're watching the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship live coverage. We hope that you're enjoying this. We are about 45 minutes or so in to the final cast right now. Breeze is our dog leading with 150 plus. We know that, and I'm not sure we have anything else struck, I think, except for little Ann for 50. We'll be back just in a moment.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
If you want the chance to be featured across our social platforms, just tag at UKC Dogs or at UKC Hunting Ops on Instagram, and you can tag UKC Coonhounds on Facebook. Or you can use the hashtag Dogs That Do More.
Your puppy only gets one start to set the foundation for a lifetime of performance at your side. Fuel growth and activity, support digestive health, and give him a training edge to one day flush, point, track, retrieve. So when the gear comes out, he'll be ready. Make every milestone count with game-changing puppy fuel. Eukanuba Premium Performance Puppy Pro.
All right, and welcome back tonight to the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship live coverage of the final cast. Just to give you viewers a quick update, while we were on break, we got word that Smoke and Breeze are struck back in for 25. They seem to be trailing close, but yet they can see that they're different. Here's our update from Houndsman Advantage. Again, we want to give big props to Houndsman Advantage bringing all this coverage. Breeze, 25 strike, and is still holding 50. And we see Smoke with 25 strike, and we see his 150 minus. They did give us a report as well from the field that it was tougher hearing Ann now because I guess Breeze and Smoke are close. They're getting closer. Maybe they're even pushing further away as a group from Ann, because I think they said it's about 700 yards from her. a moment ago. So we do have action taking place right now.
It does show here on the scorecard, and I think Alan's going to update us on what's going on with Smoke.
Smoke, all right. Alan, can we go to you?
Yeah, I do have an update here. They had the stationary on Smoke. He got hooked up again and had a stationary on him, but J.R. Gray has, in fact, called him treed now, so he's back on the paper again for 125.
All right. So Smoke has made another tree, and I'm sure the 3 is working on him right now, and they'll be getting to him here pretty quickly, and we should get our, how many trees have we scored so far tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've scored 4 trees tonight, going to number 5, and we should have some more action for you tonight as well. And guys, we're nearing about that. Probably by the time we get this tree scored, we're going to be about halftime, about halfway, halfway through it. So let's go to our footage, see if we can see anything.
They did say, just to bring viewers up to date on the update, that they can hear Ann, but it's a little tougher to hear over the dogs because they're in close proximity to where the cast.
All right, so we're heading into Smoke, and see if we can get some. Can't hear anything yet, but we're heading there. There he is. Now I wonder, as we're walking into this tree, Rick, I'll come to you. Those 2 lights that you have, do both of them have cords? Is that how old they are?
No cord. No cord. But they're lightweight, I guarantee you that.
They're lightweight? Probably because they're dead, right? I'd say the last time you had one of them on was when you held me there till 4 o'clock at night trying to get a red bone for Tree of Coon.
Yeah.
And you come back in digging mushrooms.
Might have been last night.
All right, we have made it to Smoke's tree, and shine time has started. There's Bryce Matthews, one of our coordinators out there that's doing some of the communication with the houndsman advantage, I'm sure.
Always does a good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bryce always does a good job. We got to hear a little bit from him when he filled in for Trevor, I believe it was a year ago.
A year ago now,
A year ago this time.
And interviewed Casey there at the last tree Lacey.
The last World Championship.
Bryce.
And she was a daughter of Willie.
Yeah, talking of Lacey, was a half sister to Ann and Smoke.
Bryce is a person also that's been very involved in using houndsman advantage. So he's very knowledgeable in one that has used it a good amount of time. So he's a good one to have.
I call him off for a judge a couple nights this week.
Who judged?
He did.
I think he judged. Round 1 and round 2. And just to let our viewers.
I know he judged early last night.
Yeah, I think he judged. So here we go. What do we got? I think we're going to get a report from Ted. What's that like there? I don't understand.
Show at 150 miles.
I guess Tennessee.
What about the losers coming back?
They made a comeback.
Late in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That's what we'll ask Trevor. It stands for Texas.
Breeze is at 154.
Trevor loves the camera. You can tell.
He's wishing he's taking your seat right now, Jamie. I guarantee you.
Do what?
He's wishing he had your seat right now. I guarantee you.
All right. We just got a report from the field. I'm sure we'll bring it to you live just in a moment. But Ann is now treed for 125. So Trevor might report that, but we are hearing that.
Okay, guys, we're in here at Smoke's third tree of the night. The man can't catch a break. First tree was circled up. Second time, looked like it was hung up maybe on the fence. Judge had to make a call on whether the trees were touching. There was a cone next tree over. They ended up having to minus that tree, so Smoke shows sitting at 150 minus currently. You probably saw that from the dates. Breeze ran the circle tree off the bat. Second time, he's sitting at 150 plus. Judge had to make a call on whether Little Ann, UKC championship, next tree was treed in while we're here at this tree. So that tree, so several hundred yards away. So when we get done here, go saw that for the her tree. The night, see how it's Breeze now circle tree off the bat. She's shining. She's sitting in shows tree for a little bit. And the longer we go, the less optimistic we are about them busting it up. But just was treed in while we're here at this tree. So she's several hundred yards away. So when we get done here, we can go score her first tree of the night.
Circled the tree here at Smoke Show. Ended up circling the tree here.
Shining.
We're gonna head to Little Ann now
for a little bit, and the longer we go, the less optimistic we are about them busting it up. But
so a report from Trevor is that Smoke's tree was circled, and as I reported just a moment ago, Ann is treed, and they're getting ready to head to Little Ann. I couldn't tell if he'd said any amount of yardage, but I would assume she's 600-700 yards, kind of the way it's played out most of the night on this. So we are heading now to Little Ann. She is treed, and we'll see what happens.
Struck for 50, treed for 125.
And this tree could change leaders here.
Could change the leader.
And I don't think, unless I have missed it, I did miss it, Breeze is struck back in for 25. Yeah. And so we're not for sure where she's setting right now in ratio to the other dogs, but we know that she is struck. Before we get to Ann's tree, I just want to make mention tonight, we've not mentioned our partners and our sponsors, and we want to just make sure that our viewers know who is making this possible for you. I'll do it very quickly. Our partner tonight is Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner, and our sponsors tonight is, as you've heard me say many times, Houndsman Advantage. We appreciate Matt and his work with that. Bright Eyes Lights, Ray Conrad, Razor Hunting Gear, Johnny Watkins, Easy Loader Dog Kennels, Dan's Hunting Gear, Coon Dog Wear, and a local sponsor to help us bring this event here to the Jay County Board is the Jay County Tourism Bureau. And we appreciate all of those partners and sponsors. And so we do have an update tonight at this point from Alan in the field. And so Alan, what do you have for us?
Yeah, I just want to clarify what Trevor was saying there. We might have had a little bit of audio trouble there, but I just wanted to clarify that Smoke's tree was in fact circled, and they had Ann has also been declared treed, which the guys at the desk made that announcement as well. But they are now heading to Ann's tree, and right now as we speak, there's roughly 55 minutes gone in this hunt. So we're zeroing in on halftime in the World Championship.
All right. Well, thank you, Alan, for that report, and hopefully we can get back to the field as they head into Ann's tree. We're halfway there, guys, and we do have some coverage coming. But if you was a handler, if you were walking into Ann's tree tonight, whether you would be in Strickland's boots or whether you'd be in one of the other guys' boots, anything changed on your game plan being halfway through?
Well, right now, with Smoke, obviously pulling that slick, you're making that empty. He's got to be on total offense. He's got to strike and tree and get on the board as quick as he can, or whatever. Whereas Brandon, although this could change the leaderboard, his is at large and competing. So he's on the right way of the rotation, I guess you could call it on that side of it, because he's got plenty of time to make a move on that side of it.
I can tell you John's happy that Ann has went from doing what she was doing to doing something different now. And John's been, assuming that she does what she always does, John's going to be able to get his hands on her, get this tree scored, and get her restarted. If it falls into John's favor and Ann's favor that she does have a coon that they can score on, of course John's going to be sitting pretty good here. But John is now just relieved to know that an hour into this hunt, or almost an hour into this hunt, she's finally parked, and he's going to get to restart her after they score the tree. So I'd be happy. John's happy in many ways that she's treed. I would be happy just knowing that her past history of having trees like this, she's probably not going to take a minus. She's probably going to have a coon or a circle, and then John's going to get to restart her again, and that's kind of important. I mean, you get her off of that trailing mode and get her recut again. Maybe she's found a pocket of coons in here or something. Who knows what's going on? But John's got to be happy that she's parked.
Certainly don't want to jinx Ann in no way, shape, or I shouldn't even say that. But she's known in our circle of people that know her and hunt with her. She's one of the most accurate hounds competing on this stage. And just to give you an idea how important that is, John shared earlier with Ann, she scored a total of 1,325 points in three casts. So she's doing it by being offensive. She's doing it by having the evidence when she gets there. And he purchased Ann, I believe, a year ago in June, from talking to him today. And just to give you an idea, this little female, she's no stranger to the winner's circle. She's won roughly $285,000 in just a little over a year, 15, 16 months. And she does it in our circle of people that know her and that hunt with her. She does it by being very, very accurate on that side.
And who did he buy her from?
He bought her from JR and Ellis.
And Ellis.
You guys
Ellis,
own Smoke.
There we are.
So,
guys, I want to take us in a little bit of a different direction. We've talked about the 3,000 plus entries across the nation in the RQEs. We've talked about Thursday night we met the 27 cast winners. We got to see video footage of the 104 dogs that made it. We've seen these handlers, but there's a group of people that we've not really spoke a lot about over to the last couple of nights of coverage. And those are the guys that are volunteering their time, volunteering their effort out there in a thankless position, to be honest with you, and that's our judges. And we had non-hunting judges on every round, and some of them last night judged 2 rounds, judged the early round and the late round. Some of our judges last night didn't get in bed until daylight this morning. And tonight we have 2 very qualified judges. I know both of those guys judged late last night, so this makes their 4th round that they've judged in the last three nights. I just want to say to our judges, thank you for what you've done. Thank you for giving of your time in a thankless position. And I really believe our judges have done a great job here this week. So I want you guys to know I appreciate you and thank you for that. Guys, we've all been there. What would you speak to the judges?
Well, certainly a huge thank you goes out to the judges, and a huge thank you goes out to the hunters. Yeah. Hunters, can certainly make a big part of that. I was kidding with Matt. Matt Lingo is obviously a big part of the Jay County Coon Hunters Club, or Jay County Coon Hunters Club here. Does a fantastic job. Worked extremely hard to put together a group of judges to come to this event. And they certainly, it was an excellent group of guys that, like you said, come and done a thankless job.
Yes.
And I told Matt yesterday, or today when I ran into him, I said, I got a beef to pick with you. And he said, what's that? And I said, you kind of messed things up. I believe this is the first time in many years from my recollection that we're going into Saturday night's round, and we had no questions whatsoever from Thursday night on. So we kind of kidded around about that. But no, it's just a hats off to everybody involved.
Right. Well, before I can go to Rick on that, we do have a report from the field. And so we might have a report on Ann or something else. So, Mr. Allen, what do you have?
Yeah, well, two things. I just want to help Steve out a little bit with the name of the club. It's the Limberlost Coonhunters Club.
There you go.
Jay County is where we're at here in Portland, but it's the Limberlost Coonhunters Club, and I agree with him. Man, they've done a very nice job this weekend. Sure appreciate all of them. But hey, we've got more action. Smoke is struck back in, and then we also, the cast is on their way to Breeze, or on their way to Ann, I'm sorry, but Breeze is also now declared treat again. So there's lots happening here. We're right at halftime of the World Hunt.
Well, just like I told you, you can order something from Amazon in the morning and get it the afternoon. And here we are. And out of respect for Steve, and they take me off. They take me off.
No,
out of respect for Steve, and
can we get a real big view here of this?
I want to go back. You can order this Blues Brothers outfit, but I want to quickly go back while the guys are headed to Ann there, and I want to bring up what we talked about yesterday. Jamie, you and I did, and I got this okayed by Alan. I didn't dare do any. I don't ever do anything just,
What am I supposed to
on my own? I checked it with Alan. Everything was fine with this, but remember yesterday when Steve was doing the backflips and the cartwheels, and we got 5 blue ticks.
Oh, about all the blue
left
ticks.
Like
this motions. I mean, like
one
all
of these
that.
right
Yeah,
here,
okay. And did you notice?
And he brought up jinx. He absolutely jinxed every blue tick owner, handler, and blue tick dog.
He was not gonna,
that made it in.
Is there any blue ticks in? Is there any blue ticks in the final cast?
And then,
he had to bring this up because of Thursday night to set the stage so people understand what we're talking about here. When Rick picks your dog to win, know this. They come to Rick on Thursday and they said, Rick, just whatever you do in the pick'ems, when you guys pick who's going to win the cast, please don't pick me.
And they threatened me with bodily injury.
They threatened him with bodily injury. That's why he's wearing sunglasses so they can't see him in the eyes or whatever.
Is this the hat and sunglasses
so
you wear?
This is Rick's way of getting back to me on thinking that I jinxed all the blue ticks.
I'll tell you what, though, we joke about it, and we had 5 go back out there last night, right? We had 5 blue dogs, we had 2 English dogs, and 1 black and tan. And I'm going to be honest with you, I felt like, and I think Steve felt like it too, that this might have been the year that we would have that off-breed dog in a real position to make it to the final round. And we didn't get it done, but anyway, a tribute to those guys. A shout out to all the guys that made it in there with their off-breed hounds, and what was it? There's 8 of them made it into the early round last night.
5 blue, 2 English, 1 black and tan, and
1 crossbred. And I think the crossbred,
the X-bred and one of the English ones, or at least one, maybe if not 2, made it to the top 9 last night.
Yeah.
I know Grace did, and but yeah, 100%. So
I got this ordered this morning, and just out of tribute to you and Big Country, and I wish we had some of the videos of him doing that, doing that. He was so happy that they didn't draw each other last night.
He was.
It was like, oh my gosh, they're going to get to compete on their own.
So this is not your hat and sunglasses that you wear to Aruba?
No. This is just all in fun here, but I had to dig him.
He's coming a little closer to our side a little bit each time. This hat is just perfect.
The more I retire, the closer I get to retirement. Yeah, you're right about that.
So guys, just as our viewers, I'm sure you're watching, we are probably in the cornfield that Ann had been in, very possibly.
Yeah, and looks like there's some stuff knocked down there for sure.
And they're heading into Ann's tree. Just to remind our viewers now, Breeze has been declared treed as well. So we're heading into 2 situations that can really change things. I mean,
it's going to eat a lot of time up probably too.
Yeah, Ann has a coon, she takes the lead. Breeze has a coon. Refer back to what Steve said just a moment ago. She's on the front end of this. She's on the front end of this opportunity. But if Ann has a coon, Breeze has a coon, I think the last 2 rounds we've seen Ann win it in the last few minutes. I mean, so you flip Ann back.
2 of the 3 rounds this weekend, she's won it in the last 2 minutes.
So we still got a lot of, so I say all that to say the last hour could be an action-packed hour.
Yeah.
It could be that. Are you going to wear that the whole 2 hours?
I might.
You might.
He look good in it.
I don't look bad in it at all, do I?
You look as good as anything.
We knew Rick was headed to retirement because he won the world hunt with a walker dog and then switched to a red bone. So
Yeah.
we knew he was going to ease his way on out.
That is the truth. I'm telling you. I think we've
And I'll
made
tell you what. He reminds me of. I better not say. He reminds me of a couple folks. So maybe we can get some little out of this tree.
We're scoring. We have arrived at Ann's tree, and just to speak to this, something that Rick had said and I had said as well. It looks like a tree that should be scoreable, right on the edge.
Like they're on the edge, or Trevor's on the edge at least.
Trevor might not have wanted to go through the briars, I mean. But they are shining from the field, which that's always a good thing. That Tennessee hat that Trevor wears, we know they don't like to get in the rough stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
They win today.
I don't know. Trevor looks pretty happy, so they probably did. If we could ask him in the field, we'd ask him if they won, but I don't think we can do that. So we have no audio from the field right now. So.
We're getting plenty of audio from you, I can tell you that.
That hat.
Well, you got that West Virginia, you're bragging on them today.
Oh, I was really bragging.
I knew you was waiting for a cue.
We got audio. That came into perfect time for you to shut up.
They don't have to time us down.
Plus, pretty close. Gotcha. Smoke, 125.
There's Terry.
I bet I don't know where you said. That's all right. I didn't know if it's John or whatever. That is rough in there. How far away? Yeah, 400.
Looked like Chad was writing something down and looking at something.
I'm gonna get her right there where y'all at, and just walk down to that edge and send her back in the woods.
We should be getting that update directly.
Ow.
I would say that's a pretty good update as quickly as they scored that.
If it was in sync
in real time. All right, well, we are getting a report that we're going to have an update here momentarily. And so all of our little Ann fans, are you ready for this update? Here we go.
Yeah, you can plus up Ann. She had the coon right there, and Trevor said on the way into her there along the edge of the cornfield, a lot of corn is knocked down there. So she'd been working that. Looks like the coon had been working that cornfield too. So she got one poked out of there, got him up, and got him on the card. So plus her up, and that puts her in the lead right now by 25 as I have my card over here. But we also have another update, and that is that Smoke is also now declared treed. And then thirdly, I'd like to clarify, no way did I approve any props for the set tonight.
Well, folks, it is.
I cannot believe he would throw me under the bus like that.
Folks, since
I tried to get a hold of him, and he got my number blocked.
Hey, get your resume ready.
That's what I was getting ready to say, folks. It is good to have the fan favorite with us tonight for the last time since he didn't get anything approved. So it's good to see Rick. Nice working with you. Okay,
yeah.
So let's see.
The Redbones retired. The Redbones retired him. So now,
yeah.
Now Alan's retirement.
Let's look at her card here tonight. We see Breeze sitting at 150 plus, and she's got 150 pending. We see Ann at 175, and I'm sure that will be recut any moment. This could be a time, and we've not heard if our judges make the decision if they are going to have to move, as Steve alluded to earlier, but we don't know that. We know Smoke has 150 minus, and then we know Smoke has 150 pending. So that's where we're at right now.
And roughly, we're figuring we got about 50 minutes left.
Probably a little over,
something like that.
Probably 70 minutes used. Yeah.
9:47.
Okay, so roughly 50 minutes, and I
or
don't think it doesn't shock me, anyways, that they're on their way to score their 8th tree of the night.
Yeah, right.
So certainly, although the video and audio is broke up a little bit, scoring 8 trees in this matter of time, where they're hunting at doesn't shock me. Like you can see, there's a lot of crop damage there. coons knocking down the corn and so forth. So they are certainly in an excellent area on that side of it. And to be walking to their 8th tree with roughly 50 minutes left to go in the hunt, pretty impressive.
We got a report from the field that it's at 53 minutes left. 53 minutes. So we're just a little bit past our halfway point, and as we said just a moment ago, still a lot of time. A lot of time. And
now with both dogs being treed, the way the rules are, John will lead Ann a little distance here and release her back. So I'm sure that he's done that up to this point, and they'd be walking to Breeze's tree. From our understanding.
Yes, Breeze's tree.
And certainly Brandon walking there, he knows now what's got to happen. And obviously for John, the same thing.
So we're assuming at this point, Ann is cut, I would say.
Still plenty dry there. I mean, after the rains we've had this week, I think they've had 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 evenings of rain, and everybody's still saying it's still plenty dry.
Just goes to show how dry it's really been here.
Yeah.
To talk to the point that Steve made just a moment ago, 50 minutes into the cast, and have made 8 trees, multiple opportunities to score, and it seems like the last hour is going to continue to head in that direction. Just to let our viewers know some things that has happened over these last few days. In round 1, 162 coons were seen and 125 were scored, with an average of 4.63 coons per cast. The average winning score was 392.6. Then we go to round 2, 45 coon were seen, 35 scored, 3.89 coons per cast, with an average score of 383 and a third average winning score. And then round 3, which was late last night, 12 coons seen, 12 scored, 4 coons per cast, with the average win of 283.3. These are the total numbers now, and this is pretty impressive, and this speaks volumes to the Limberlost coon hunters, to Lingo, and to all the guides that have worked hard this week. 219 coons seen, 172 scored, for an average of 4.41 coons scored per cast, with an average winning of 382. For me in West Virginia, that's a week's worth of hunting. Sure. I mean, and they're doing this in one night. So with that being said, I know Houndsman Advantage is here tonight, and they're listening. I'm going ahead and reserving my room for my week of Thanksgiving when I make my trip through Indiana.
You still get invited to that?
Huh?
You still get invited to that annual event?
I get invited all the time. I just show up, I mean, that's why I get to wear a hat.
Who all is that? That's Smith and you, and who else?
It's just me.
Just you?
Yeah, I go to Jason Smith's every year over the week of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm sure he's getting tired of that.
So, guys, let's come back and just talk about that for a second. I mean, that's some scoring. That's what it tells us.
You're in Indiana.
Yeah, I was. There was. I seen earlier. Some of my friends was out hunting last night, and said that had one of the best nights that they ever had. They had actually treed 31 last night with 5 different dogs. So they're definitely moving good. I think the rain definitely brought them down. Definitely left them move around good on that side for sure.
Yeah.
Well.
And back to country and Frisky when we was having that little debate.
I'm glad we came back to here.
Having that little debate there or whatever. Now that we got
my hat to him too.
Yeah. Now that we've got that established on that side of it, just a huge shout out to all that whole side. Obviously, the hunt's dominated by walker dogs, and rightfully so. There's a lot of good ones. There's no secret to usually that's what Winter World.
But actually, not to cut you off, one of your top which caught me by surprise. I think your third dog was a Walker dog, right? In your top three, I think, was a Walker female.
It was a little Walker female called Abigail. Had a lot of fun with her. Kind of come to her by accident, I guess you could say. Had a lot of fun enjoying her. She was the first platinum champion that I made, which back then was a really big deal on that side of it.
Many weekends and
many weekends, because back then, one of the biggest prizes that you would win, that was a big prize, trunk prize, was $4,000, and that was hard to win, and there was only 10 of them a year.
Yeah.
So certainly enjoyed that side of it. But talking of country, he had a couple dogs advance to last night's round, the top 27. So he was certainly a good hound. Hunting heads up with Frisky, could have went. Who knows? I would like to think that I would beat Rick 8 out of 10 nights, and I'm sure he feels that the same way back with me.
You were 10 out of 10, right?
But if I can hang my hat on anything, she won the World Hunt. But like JR, I can, with him winning the World Hunt in 2018, is that correct?
Yeah.
And then to come back and be in the final cast, winning the TOC, having a young dog out of yours, competing tonight, but then following that up after Lacey winning.
Well, you know who's done it. You know who's done it before is our friend Larry Prue.
Yeah, Larry Prue.
He won
only
it
other one, or I believe that was were a world champion, sired a world champion, from my recollection, when Tom won it in '93, and then Jasper, I think, was in '97, I believe it was, in Boaz, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So
hard to believe Pac-Man didn't reproduce one, but maybe it was a different registry. I believe it was.
Yeah.
But Larry did the handling on both of them, both dogs. Yep. Shout out to him. It's hard to do. Absolutely. I'll tell you another thing that's hard to do, and I did have a favorite coming up here, and for no other reason than the fact that it's never been done in the last 15 years since they started the Grand 16 at Autumn Oaks. No dog has won the Grand 16 and the World Hunt in the same year. There's been 2 or 3 dogs that have won the Grand 16, won the World Hunt before, or won the World Hunt afterwards, but we still had a shot at it late this morning, or last night, early this morning. We still had a shot at it with Nick Emmel's dog, Who's Your Daddy, and I'm getting to the point now where history's kind of a big thing for me, and I'm not sitting here telling you that I would not have minded seeing him out here tonight as well. He would have been. He
does a great job.
That dog has done well, and Nick's a great hunter, hard hunter, and but once again, 15 years in a row, we've not had a dog win the World Hunt and win Autumn Oaks. But for the first year, or within a year, we may have a dog win the TOC and the World Hunt tonight.
The World Hunt.
And wow.
That hasn't happened before.
That hasn't happened before.
What an incredible accomplishment that would be.
Let me jump in here on something that you just said, Rick, and it was a great setup, and I scrolled down to it very quickly when you said, just to remind our viewers, we've talked a lot about tonight about the RQEs, the regional qualifying events, but Rick just alluded to the TOC of Ann winning the TOC last year, which is UKC's tournament champion.
Year.
Or this spring. I'm referring to the past TOC, which is again the tournament of champions for UKC. Let's speak to that for just a moment to our viewers. And to get qualified for the Tournament of Champions, you just got to get 5 cast wins within the calendar year. So the calendar year right now of 2025, you're qualifying for the TOC that would take place in the spring of 2026, which is a phenomenal hunt put on and hosted by UKC. $50,000 first place prize. Second, third, fourth dropping down. There's prize money there.
They pay $100,000 to the final cast.
The event on Thursday, the dinner, the atmosphere, the walking up to sign your dog, to confirm your dog. I mean, just a powerful event. And so I would encourage you, there's still time. I mean, we're September, you have October, November, and December to get those 5 cast wins. Get out there and get your dog qualified for the TOC. I can report to you. That that right now it's not confirmed where the 2026 TOC is. They're still working on some details there, but you need to stay tuned to all the opportunities of information coming from UKC for that information to go from them to us as the hunters, and they will share that just as quickly as they make those arrangements. But this is what I can say to you from a person that's worked the TOC, been on the stage with the TOC, seen a little bit behind the scenes of the TOC. It will be a quality event. It will be an event that you'll never forget. It's an event that I say to all hunters, you need to experience the finals one time. You need to get those 5 wins, get signed up for a zone, and make that happen. Guys, both of y'all have been there as commentators, as the expert panel. Both of y'all have participated and hunted on the major stage. I think I've heard you both say this on the set of the TOC, the magnitude of this event. Let our viewers know just a little bit about the TOC from your perspective and why they need to get out there these last couple months and get those 5 cast wins.
I'll jump in here because I don't believe Rick ever got to the TOC, let alone the top 16. But just to give you an update, we do have an update from the field.
Can we get him a Sears catalog to set on?
We do have an update from the
Prop
field.
him up a little bit.
There is roughly 41 minutes left to hunt, and they have arrived at Breeze's tree. So we'll get you guys updated on that as soon as we find more out about it. But there's nothing like the Tournament of Champions. I was there at the first one, was lucky enough to hunt in the top 16, and it's an incredible experience.
You won the first round.
I won the first round.
Yeah.
And got to hunt the top 16.
Which dog did you have?
I had my little babe female.
Oh, that's right.
Then it was the first year, and I knew from that point, the way the red carpet was rolled out, that it would become one of UKC's premier events next to the World Hunt. And we've heard many, many people that come there that are, last year or this year, in the spring of this year, it was their first time, and they just, they're going to do everything they can to get back to it. So to Jamie's point, got to fly up there. To Jamie's point, is the main thing is get your 5 cast wins before the end of the year. If you're sitting at 3, get it done. You can't go until you have them 5 cast wins, and you will if you're lucky enough to make it there, it's an experience you'll never forget.
Yeah. Now we're going to go to the field here. We don't have live coverage there, but we do have from our field reporter for Houndsman Advantage, Bryce Matthews, is being able to send us some photos, some still photos of events. So we're going to be able to share some things with you. Here we see 2 of our handlers and our lead judge.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's Breeze or Ann.
That's all through. That's the judge and 2 of the handlers.
JR, Primetime Hunting Supply. JR Cut and Smoke.
That's a shot right there. That's a good shot.
The cameraman.
This guy's testifying to something.
That's
Really.
Ryan.
Raising his
That's
right
the
hand.
that's the guide.
They're hunting for all the marbles. That's just crazy how exciting that has to be out there.
Still today, winning the World Hunt, still one of the most sought after titles of anybody that hunts in certainly our circle of people.
So we know.
No, there's a crew back at the truck.
We know Breeze is treed, and so we're actually going to go to Alan. We have an update, so this could be interesting right here, Alan.
Yeah, I do have a report from Trevor here. Breeze got her tree got minused here, so she's going to go back even with the board here at this point with that minus. Now they are headed to Smoke. Trevor did say that it's been a good hunt so far. They've done a lot of walking so far. Obviously made quite a few trees, as you guys have all reported here. But it's been a good hunt so far. Outside of this dog taking this minus here, or Breeze taking the minus, why all in all, it's been a good hunt, and it's still anybody's game to win here tonight. But we're down in the last 45 minutes or so of this hunt, so we'll see what happens.
Now, Alan, before you go, you might can find out. I'm assuming right now Ann is not struck. We've not heard anything from Ann on being recut.
That is correct. Ann has not been declared struck yet on the last report.
Okay. All right. So to bring our viewers up, I'm sure we'll see the Houndsman Advantage app come up. Breeze has been minused, I'm assuming both ways. So that would make her back even with the board at 0. So here we can see it, yes. Breeze, our first dog, has taken 150 minus, so she is now back to 0. Ann is still setting at 175 plus, and we have Smoke. At 150 pending. Now, here's the thing that could bring another different scenario up. If they get Smoke turned or scored and turned back loose before anything else is struck, we're going to have a new set of strike points available.
Yeah, correct.
And so that could be a play.
Question for you, Rick. In this situation, obviously a lot going through from a handler's standpoint, knowing that you just pulled a minus. Would at any time you as a handler contemplate on saying, hey, you know what, Ann's not struck back in yet? Would you take your chance and lead into Smoke's tree, knowing that if you get that tree scored, you can flip back loose and strike points would open back up?
The possibility's there. I mean, I don't think it would have entered my mind being behind, but you're absolutely right.
I mean, this is a backseat quarterback,
if they're close enough to, maybe it'd probably be a timing thing with me. If we're 5 minutes away, maybe I would. Maybe I'd hold her, and we get in there and score Smoke, and pull Smoke and Breeze off, to cut, and now we're cutting back for 100. But even at that, if Ann doesn't bark the rest of the night, those dogs are going to have to score on 2 coons, right?
Yeah. Unless the strike points open back.
If the strike points open up the second time, right? You're right.
Yeah. But, if it opened back up to 100.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Just sitting there talking.
You're not going to win by striking for a quarter.
No.
We understand that, and
be tougher.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I mean, Ann's going to have to make a mistake, and they 2 of the 3 have, so possibly she would too. But you're probably not going to win this hunt striking back in per quarter.
Okay. As we wait on some reports from the field, we've had the opportunity. This is another question that I wanted to ask you guys. I spent some time thinking through some scenarios, and then while I was here this week, I seen something that I thought was very interesting. Alan alluded to it just a little bit, and it was kind of ironic that Alan talked about it when I had it wrote down already. Years ago, it seemed like there was more of a divide within the registries and people, what they hunted. You had people that hunted PKC. There was really not a lot of these other opportunities to hunt. Then you had UKC hunters, you had PKC hunters. Now there's a vast array of different opportunities for people to hunt. You have the PKC, you have Pro Sport, you have AKC, ACHA, UKC, a lot of vast opportunities. Just this weekend, seeing Pro Sport, we had Scott Engel, we had Greg Maynard here, 2 major players within the Pro Sport round. Alan spoke about that and seeing people come together to try to win the UKC World Hunt. People that traditionally hunt other registries, but they're here this weekend. I think that speaks volumes of the prestige of the United Kennel Club World Championship. I think that's why people are here. That's my opinion. Talk to me, guys. What do you think about people now? Do you see, from your guys' perspective, more of a crossover from that? Because both of you guys have hunted UKC and hunted other registries as well. I'm going to come to Rick to that, because Rick, I know you've had some background there heavily from a hunter and as an employer, as a staff person as well. Give me your thoughts on that. Did you see that a lot then, or do you think it's more relevant today, people crossing those boundaries?
I think they're crossing more today, and if you want to just speak on as far as coming over to UKC, I think the Tournament of Champions has brought more of those guys over here. $100,000 purse that Steve mentioned. I think we see a big number of crossover right there. The World Hunt probably a little bit smaller as far as crossover goes, but like you said, I mean, the best of the best is here. I'm telling you, when they win this title for the UKC World Championship, there's a lot of value to that. It's not the monetary prize amount at the time, later on tonight they're going to be awarding somebody, but there's a lot of value down the road with you winning this event.
And I'm going to come back and we'll get Steve's thoughts on that, but we're going to go to Alan. We have a report from the field, and so this could be interesting as we head into probably the last 35 minutes. And so, Alan, what do we have?
Yeah, we're winding down to the last 30 minutes, and I just want to confirm here, make sure we clarify with the scorecard. I think the scorecard might have showed one of the dogs having some points that it does not have, actually. But right now, they're going to Smoke at the moment. He is sitting at 150 minus on the card with 150 pending. So, and then Ann is leading the cast with 175 plus, and Breeze, just to clarify, after that last minus she took on that tree, that puts her at exactly 0. So that's how we stand there with about exactly 30 minutes to go right now.
So Alan, we don't have any dogs struck in besides Smoke?
That is correct. Have no other news from the field at this point.
Okay.
All right. So folks, you heard it there. We're at 30 minutes and it's going to be an exciting finish. We've kind of predicted that all night long, that it will be an exciting finish, and we're walking to Smoke. And I still think it's going to be interesting to see if this strike opens back up. So
back to that thing, and I hope I don't take Steve's thought away from him, but
I'm used to it. So.
When we
I've learned to contain it.
I really do hope that I take your thought away from me. Give me a break here just for a second. When Alan called Greg Maynard up yesterday, Greg made the top 27. And when Alan called him up yesterday, Greg made a pretty good tribute to Alan. And well deserved. It was well deserved, and coming from Greg, it meant a lot to him to say that, and I find that with a lot of people that work around Alan and know Alan. But back to this crossover thing, Alan, I've never seen Alan talk down or talk bad or talk negatively of another registry.
None.
He is hoping that everybody succeeds, and that is awesome. I mean, I didn't always grow up with that mindset that Alan has, but he genuinely hopes that coon hunters and coonhound registries overall progress, and you can see it this weekend as well. When Greg made his speech, and I just said to myself, that's the type of guy that Alan is. Yeah. He wants to see everybody do good, and of course we can only have one winner now and then, but he wants to see everybody have a good time and do good.
Yeah. Well, the forethought of, and I'm not going to take us there in discussion. We'll hold it back for the TOC time. But the forethought and the planning and the idea and the birthing of the TOC was phenomenal for people to be able to compete for the prize of that availability for the price that they're able to compete that for is just a remarkable thing, and Alan deserves a lot of that credit. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's that. But Steve, I want to go to you now. From your years of experience, how do you see the crossover now?
Well, I'm just going to be frank. United Kennel Club, Alan Gingrich, Trevor Wade, and a lot of their staff, they've done an incredible job in the last 10 years. The prestige has always been here, okay? Ask any hunter what's the most prestigious hunt they want to win, they're going to tell you the UKC World Hunt, 9 out of every 10. But what brought the crossover over is the improvements that they made and the cohesiveness of working together with other registries, knowing that if we work together, it can become, all of us can become stronger and better for the hunter. What is United Kennel Club known for right now? They roll out the red carpet for their competitors. Anybody that was here this weekend, seen it on full display from the time they pulled into this fairgrounds on Thursday morning to now. And how do we know that? Because we hear people that share it on that side of it. So that just alludes to the fact of the crossover comes from that when they get here, that people care about what they're
I can promise you this, and we have a report from Alan. I can promise you this, and I'm sure Alan's going to laugh when he says this, and I'll say it with the utmost respect. The details. The details.
Yeah.
We laugh as field reps and know that we're going to move Eukanuba dog food at least 2 to 3 times before it gets in the place that Alan wants it. So we moved Eukanuba dog food 3 times this weekend, and we know that to detail for him. And so it's my pleasure. I might be fired as well tonight with Rick. So Alan, let's get a report.
Well, I don't know if we moved it 3 times, maybe 2 times.
We moved it 3 times.
We moved a few things around, but hey, things got to look good. Things got to look good. But hey, I always tried to perfect things, I guess, and probably overdoing it sometimes. But I like things to look good. But hey, I appreciate all the kind words and everything. It means a lot. And but we do try hard, and a lot of folks do work hard. So, and we really appreciate all of our hunters, and that's why we do all that. But hey, got a report from the field here that. Smoke is plussed right away. Took him but about 10 seconds. They found that coon, so he's plussed. He's cut back loose. Chad Showalter let the cast know right away. Strikes are open. So all strikes are open. We're competing for 100 here again. And Trevor says maybe the only person that didn't like to hear that is John right now. So might have it. He's thinking about this here. But as we near zero in on the end of this hunt right here, so anything could still happen here.
So guys, to bring our viewers up to date, we have Breeze setting at 0, we have Ann at 175, and Smoke at 0. Huge play right there with the 100 strike becoming available. So
it's
now
one
coon can change this whole
game.
This whole game. We were just told that we have more still shots, more photos coming from the field. So we're going to walk you through those and maybe catch you up on some things. So here we are back with our handlers and our lead judge. I think some of these are just repetitive here, but kind of takes you through what our hunters are seeing tonight, are taking place out there. What are we at, guys, on time frame?
We turned loose at 8:47 on my clock.
Okay, so we're probably 25 minutes.
23, 20,
yeah, something like that.
Minutes. He's like, it'll be nerve-wracking. It'll be nerve-wracking. 23 minutes left.
Yeah, 23 minutes. But this is Ann's. I mean, she's the last 2 nights wanted in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But boy, I guarantee you, John is sitting there going, "Ann, why aren't you just trailing back out in that cornfield?"
Wouldn't he love to have a quarter strike out there with her in the middle of that cornfield?
Middle of that cornfield and let her run.
Yeah. It don't work like that.
She's the type of female though that she's been at large for this amount of time. There's a good chance she's gets treed.
Every dog in the cast tonight treat a coon by itself.
Yes. So we're going to move through these photos, and we know that we have a report. We know that we have a report from the field, and they're just going to go ahead. This could be exciting. So, Alan, what do we have?
Well, I don't know if it's a good report. It's a little bit different report, but Trevor says, it was going, there was a lot of talk. You know how the guys are. Those of you know J.R. Gray and John out there in the cast, I can only imagine. I know Brandon as well. He's probably going to fire right back at him. But with about 20 minutes to go now and where they're sitting at, things have tensed up a little bit. The banter has calmed down a little bit as we get into these last 20 minutes, and it's getting serious now. So that's my latest report for y'all.
Or is your banter going to calm down?
I'll never forget the words that Brian Witt had told me when we moved, and I mentioned it on the podcast, and I've heard him say it a couple times. Damn it, this is a world hunt. Start acting like it. This is the world hunt. Start acting like it. And and that's where them guys are at right now.
You have Brian's phone number. Can we call it?
Alan was on the cast, Alan was on the cast, and I can tell you tense moments. Alan was on the cast in 2000 when I was in the Final Four. He was one of the judges. We won't go there on the judging deal that night. We'll leave that for another topic. But with 20 minutes left to go, leading the world hunt, and the dog in 4th place, with 20 minutes left to go, come back and won that cast. You know, and I was leading it. I was leading it by a quarter with 20 minutes left to go, and just anything can happen. And it happened that night. I went from 1st to 3rd, and the dog that was in 4th went to 1st. And on a strike situation where I was the only one that got struck in that situation. And in this area, you would think that the time would never catch you, right?
Yeah, right.
And back then it was 10 minutes. And to have 4 dogs that are at large, struck for 100, leading the cast, thinking that, okay, and now I just can tree wherever I need to, you know, kind of counting your chickens before they hatch, I guess, and 10 minutes of dead silence, you know. So certainly, like Rick said, it's a world hunt now. You know, Muhammad Ali always said you never knew you was in a ring or you was in a fight for your life until you got punched in the mouth, right? And that's a little bit this case scenario here. When you get here and the strike opens back up, you know now it's for real, you know.
So here we have our fans are seeing some photos that was taken today. This is a cool picture right here.
Did you move that dog food there too, Jamie?
We did. I think
Alan's letting on like you haven't done anything.
I think well, I can just tell you, we know. I mean, we're going to move you can move a dog food.
You know, to allude to that point, though, to just kind of finish up before we had that update or whatever. I remember several years ago, probably 6-7 years ago, that led to this, to where we're at today or whatever. I remember, you know, the rules have changed so much because hunting territories changed. It's just, dog style has changed a little bit or whatever. And I remember Alan sharing with me several years ago, we was actually back when he used to golf. He doesn't do that anymore. Well, he's won a few times, but he's kind of quit that. He doesn't do it professionally like he did it back then. And he had made the comment that we're going to take a swing at the rules to do everything that we can to award the best dog in the cast to win. And I remember him making the comment, even if it cost me my job, I'm willing to take that risk because of the Coonhound program. But that just shows you the passion that he's put behind it. It's been a livelihood of his for many years. And United Kennel Club and the whole staff come alongside of him. And then the TOC was birthed through that idea. A lot of the rules come along with that, and it opened up this whole new possibility, a whole bigger arena for people to come compete. With the intent always was, and to the viewers, go get your wins on the TOC, because it was designed to help the local club gain more entries by getting cast wins, and then also be able to go compete for a prize of $50,000, literally, what is that, $250 or $200 or $250 entry fee to go to the TOC. So anyone, if you have a hound that trees coon, the back behind the door dog, can go compete on that stage and actually have a shot at winning one of the biggest prizes that they offer today.
Yep, and we just got a report from the field that the club or the cast right now is sitting at about 3/4 of a mile from the truck from where they first made a cut. So they've put some walking in now. They've put some walking in tonight, and so we're probably 20 minutes or so away. And as Alan said, things are getting pretty serious as we finish heading into
about 22 minutes.
About 22 minutes. And I just want to remind all of our viewers, we are in Portland, Indiana, the home of the Limberlost Coon Hunters in Bryan, Indiana. They're our host club this week. And guys, they have done a fantastic job putting on this event, working hand in hand with Alan and Trevor and the team at UKC. And to do this event, it's already taken place. And it's just like preparing for the TOC, things are already working in that. I did ask today, I have to say, concerning the TOC, that has it been signed, and I found out that it hadn't been signed, but they did let me know that Mount Gilead has been confirmed. So I know when your vacation is. I know when you're going to Aruba, because you always leave when I show up to do the TOC zone. So
I leave right after the work's done.
You leave right after?
I don't
really. You've left always on Saturday morning. You come Friday in your little Bermuda shorts, and then you leave Friday night. So
that was last year. I don't even know for sure that we're doing Aruba this year.
So you might be there the whole weekend?
Might be there the whole weekend, might not be there at all. You know, I just never know, depending on how I feel about how you're doing, or if they get a replacement for you, which is what a lot of the club members are asking for up there, find your replacement. But you and Doug ought to trade places, maybe. Get Doug.
Doug wouldn't bring you donuts.
Doug won't bring no donuts, but he'll eat them.
We got a report. Just be quiet for a minute. I'm hosting. We got a report from the field. Alan.
Yeah, we've got important things to talk about here. We've got a world hunt going on. Hey, Smoke, put him on the card for 100. About 15 minutes left to go.
Well, from what we've seen out of Smoke, it's not going to take him long to get treed. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Alan, if you're still with us, can you make sure that we check Rick's travel vacation schedule, that he has to be there for the zones of the TOC? Can we get that checked out for him?
Well, like I said, we've got an important hunt to go on. That's happening right now.
You're always getting off track. Trying to get somebody fired is what you're trying to do.
Well, you know, back to the hunt, talking of it, with Smoke getting struck in for 100, both him and Breeze sitting even, it's a pretty important strike at this point.
It changes placements. It could change. It could change.
Certainly change places, but it takes one of the scenarios for Smoke out of the equation now, because in his mind he has to think, if I have to tree a coon, only one can beat me instead of two at this point.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an exciting finish.
Yeah, it will be. I
don't think any of us expected anything different than not to come down to this.
Well, we expected this many trees.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we expected them to make tree after tree after tree.
All right. I think I would just about bet I know what this update is, but we're going to Alan.
Yep, put Ann on the scorecard, 75 for Ann.
How do you think that made John feel?
Well, at this point in time, he's just wanting her to get treed.
Yeah, Smoke trees we need to have. You know, John needs to have Ann get treed. So
I wonder.
Smoke's going to get treed. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
We're seeing that he will.
He's made some trees. Now, but the other thing that's kind of catchy is Breeze has been loose now probably longer than anybody from her last tree, and either she's got out of pocket, she's gotten deep, she's kind of, I wonder if she's taken herself out of play here on a distance-wise. We haven't heard a report on Breeze. Maybe if we get a report from the field, we can ask Alan, hey, we got some live footage here. Let's see what's happening. Let's see a beautiful, there we go. All right, we do have a report from Alan, so let's go to Alan.
Yep, put Breeze on the card for 50. She struck back in, and I got another report. While you're doing that, tree Smoke for 125. And he's pretty close to the cast.
All right, this is going to be a big play right here.
And I can tell you, with him being treed first now, one would think at 10:34, you know, we're looking at roughly, from our calculation, having about 12 minutes left to go in the hunt. So there's a chance if they can get to his tree, get it scored, he's going to be able to get back off the chain.
Especially since they said he's close. So.
Yeah, they're on a gravel road, looks like here. So, well, it's good that they're all out there. Breeze isn't out of the picture.
No.
You know, couple bad deals here, and Breeze is right back in this thing. And yeah, this has turned into a shootout here. So, how many bad calls did you make? Now we're still talking about the World Hunt, but we're talking about 120 years ago. How many bad calls did you make in the last few minutes of that World Hunt that you were in?
That was the only one at that point, but I had made a tree minus earlier that round. Me and Bobby took each other, Ham and Earl.
Yeah.
Real renowned dog back then.
Maybe when you get Alan back up there, you might need to ask him. It seems like he was the head judge. Maybe
he wasn't the head judge.
He wasn't the head judge.
Steve's told me many a time he was glad that he wasn't.
We're all going to be fired tonight.
Hopefully we can get some audio here. Looks like they're by possibly a
farm building there, or a chicken farm, or a hog farm, or something. Look like.
And that's our backup judge, Terry Tappy,
Terry,
right there.
Mm-hmm.
Viewers, just to remind you, these is the last few minutes of the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship. In approximately less than 10 minutes, I'm thinking,
right at 10.
we are going to know who is, and it could be, to let our viewers know, the 2 hours could be up, but if we have dogs that are treed in prior to the 2 hours, they got to score those dogs. So we could be a little bit after the 2 hours, the hunt time, before we know who the official winner is. We're going to go to Alan right now because it's important. I think it's important information to go with what we're seeing live. So Alan, what do you have?
Hey, Ann is now treed, and she is 0.9 from the cast. As they're headed to smoke, we was about 380, and we're winding down to the last 10 minutes here, so it's going to get exciting here.
Now, Alan, as Trevor gave you in the report, we know Breeze is struck for 50. How far is she from the cast? Anything being said?
I have not heard anything on Breeze. I've not got to report anything about Breeze yet, but I'll see if I can't get something here.
Okay. All right. So, Ann's pretty deep, 0.9, I think he said, so it's going to, chances are they're going to be walking after the 2 hour allotted hunt time is up. So, that means that you're going to have to hear Steve and Rick more tonight, and as we make up this time to see who is crowned because we're going to have to score a tree. If Smoke has this, that's going to put Smoke in the lead. So we're definitely going to have to score Ann's tree to see
with him saying
what
that
happens.
Ann was 0.9 from him.
0.9.
One would think in that scenario, John, treeing her probably be knowing they was going to get to Smoke's tree, making sure he can still hear her at that point.
Well, there's a good chance he could go before they get to Smoke's tree. He
He
head that way.
Could be head that way and get her handled.
Yeah.
All right, we have our Houndsman Advantage app before you guys. Let's just walk you through the night. Breeze has made 3 trees. She has a circle for 225, a coon for 150 plus, a coon or a minus for 150, and has got 50 pending. We're actually going to go to Alan before we move on down. He has another report in these final minutes. Alan?
Update. Oh man, this is getting really crazy now. Yeah, Tree Breeze. She is 600 yards from the cast with 8 minutes left.
Okay.
All 3 dogs are declared treed. You guys do the math on all this.
He said for me and Steve to do the math.
Oh Lord.
One thing I will say on this here, just for the viewers, in the tiebreaker scenario, is if Breeze has a coon here, that would put her at 175, which from my calculation would tie her with Ann, and certainly Ann would have the tiebreaker at this point.
Breeze can't win.
So, and lot to happen, a lot can come down to here.
And to let our viewers know, when Steve is talking about the tiebreaker there is that Ann doesn't have any minus and Breeze does have minus. If we could go back to the Houndsman Advantage app, please, for just a moment. We'll walk
that would be awesome if they could.
Our viewers. Here we go. We walked through Breeze there for just a second, and as we had said, now she shows 50 and 125 pending. We come to Ann. Ann has 50 and 125 plus for 175. Ann has 200 pending. We come to Smoke. Smoke has 200 circle. Then he has 150 minus, and then 150 circle, 150 plus, which brought him back to even, and he has 225 pending. And so things definitely could change. I would say John probably, has the potential to go handle Ann. And then if the hunt time ends, they can score these dogs out of order. They can. Well,
Brandon could go to his too.
Brandon can go to his as well.
Well, they're both on their way to the dogs, I'm sure, after Brandon Tree Day.
Yeah. So we are we're going to finish this hunt with All Dogs Treat.
Yeah. And that's how it ought to be.
Yeah.
That's how it should wind up.
What's interesting about this, and we talked about it earlier in the show. Action-packed cast. I mean, you score these 3 trees, you're looking at 11 trees scored in a World Hunt final cast, and that's another thing that I would love to just share a little bit on. Many of you that may have not been to the World Hunt for the last 2, 3 years or 4 years, we've changed the scenario a little bit where we have a final 3.
Right.
It used to always be a final 4. And decided to go to a final 3, and it just gives dogs a little bit more of an opportunity to showcase their talents. And I think we're seeing that on full display tonight, certainly. Gives each dog a chance to score that one more tree that you normally wouldn't if they was competing with 4, for sure.
So we, just to bring our viewers up, we are for sure less than 10 minutes, probably closer into that 5-minute mark.
Yeah, you're into 5.
We know we're nearing the end. We know we have all 3 dogs treed. We're going. I thought we had some audio there of Smoke.
Yeah, we do.
We do. So we know we're going to Smoke's tree. Smoke is in for 225 pending right now. And so how things play out in this last little bit, these last few minutes, we know that this is going to help us crown our 2025 World Coonhound Championship. Hopefully we get to keep you on the live footage as we head into Smoke's tree. We may have arrived at Smoke's tree. I'm not sure. I see Trevor, and so something, maybe we're at Smoke's tree and just don't have audio.
Getting into this.
I'm not sure. We'll get her. Okay.
Trevor, go ahead.
Hey, when the strike opened up after that last tree, things got interesting out here, guys. We sat in this field right here, edge, for a while. Felt like it was a long time. It was really tense, real quiet. Finally, Smoke broke the quiet, ended up striking in. Then we heard Ann deep. She's almost a mile away, 0.9 away. Got her struck in. While we were splitting the difference, Smoke fell treed behind us, and not long after that, Ann got treed that way. And then in route to Smoke here, Breeze was also struck in for 50 and treated in for 1 1/4. So as we speak, right here across this cornfield, Smoke's tree is being shined. He has 225 pin in here. Could put the hunt out of reach here if he has this coon. And the way I have it, we have just 2 minutes in the cast remaining, 2.5 minutes in the cast remaining, and we still have Ann and Breeze to score as well. So they've been shining this tree for a couple minutes now, so we'll see what happens here, guys. But it's getting tense out here, and time's coming down, and just a couple more trees to score before we find out who the next world champion is.
All right, you heard it right from the field. That's Coonhound Programs Manager Trevor Wade out there bringing things live to you. I wonder how the field reps are doing back at the truck. I wonder how they're doing tonight. I mean, I know they had a lot of food they were taking with them, so I'd say they're doing pretty well. Well, what do you think, guys, heading into the last minute?
That's exciting. Man, they're all wanting to find a coon. That's for sure.
That's for sure of that.
JR's hoping he can find it real quick and get 2 minutes.
Get loose.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Stand over here.
According to what Trevor had.
All right, do we have another report?
I'm on there with them.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Guys, just got word. Smoke shows tree has been minused. Puts the dog back at 225 minus. Going to solidify him at 3rd place unless one of the dogs have some off him or something or does something to get scratched. So got about a minute left in the hunt right now.
All right. That's for sure not the way JR wanted to go.
No, that's not the.
But there's one thing we can say about Smoke. He's a Mr. Action Packed.
Yes,
you're going to
he
do
is.
something to. Smoke is going to make something happen. So now we're packing up shop and we're heading probably. I don't know if we're going to go to Breeze or to Ann. If they're still in hunt time, which they are, they'll probably be going to Ann first.
One would think with dogs being handled after the hunt ends, they would be then could score them out of order.
They could.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting to know where we're going, but since we're in hunt time, I'm going to say we're going to Ann, but they might,
Yes.
they're coming out of the corn.
75. Strike and breeze in for 50. Yeah, well, that's what John ain't got no money. No.
See, we got that's Chad, I think, coming out.
That tree was mine. It's Trevor if you're sending it back.
JR's got smoke.
Suck again. I'll tell you what. Hunt's over. Final 3. Hunt's over. I say we go score breeding that.
Hunt's over.
Get a ride, Ken. Thank you for judging us. Thanks for watching us.
So we just heard the hunt is over, and that makes, I don't guess it could be official, but we will see. Like you said, it could be some off game or something that could change it. But if nothing changes, very possibly JR and Smoke are going to go in at 3rd.
So it comes down to these 2 trees?
Which is still not bad.
Yeah. Yep.
Comes down to these 2 trees.
If Ann has her coon, it's done.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, all Ann needs is a circle tree.
Yes,
even if Breeze has a coon,
right?
The most she can do is a tie.
Ann wins on the tiebreaker.
Ann wins on the tiebreaker. So it really comes down to Ann's tree if it's circled, you know, circled or plus, obviously.
And there we're seeing JR lead now there, and just further proof of how hard it is to win the World Hunt twice. Man, he was right there knocking on the door, and be interesting to know. I don't know if anybody asked him today how he would compare this Smoke today as Willie compared him to Willie on the day of the World Hunt. How he would compare those 2 dogs, if they were very similar, if they were opposites or something like that. I was on the final cast there with actually Alan and I both were on the final cast when Willie won the World Hunt, and we had a lot of action. We had a Randy Smith dog out there, I believe, and we had a lot of action in that cast. And but when the smoke cleared, it was Willie the winner, and we took them over there to Kilgore Plains. Steve, you've hunted a lot over there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we are hearing that Alan has an update for us, and so Alan, we're going to go to you.
Yeah, I just had a call from Trevor in the field. The hunt time has expired now in the hunt. They've got Smoke on the lead still, so he's going to probably take 3rd place here. I guess I didn't tally everything up, but that's what I think it is. But Breeze is going to be closer than Ann is, so they're going to score Breeze here first. They have sent John on with somebody else, one of the judges, to handle Ann, but they're going to score Breeze first. So you guys know where they're sitting at, and I'll let you talk about those scenarios here.
Yeah. And as we have already been talking about that, we'll just kind of bring our viewers up to point. They're going to Breeze right now. I'm sure Terry has went with John to handle Ann. And just to let our viewers know, they said Ann was 0.9. And so if we go into Breeze right now and she is circled, then the hunt is over with. We know that Ann is our.
Not necessarily. Off game.
Well, yeah.
Off game.
And not that. Understand if Breeze is circled, she's at even.
Yes.
And if Ann would end up getting minus, she would end up being 25 minus.
Yeah.
So,
I
mean,
it could play
there's
out.
A couple scenarios there where it would work the other way.
Scenarios play out. But if Ann's tree is circle, or if Breeze's tree is circle, it puts it hugely in Ann's court at that point. So we are going, and I think they said that Breeze was about 600 yards, I think is what they said from a few moments ago. So it shouldn't take them long to get there. and hopefully we can bring a report to you guys pretty quick on this. They're able to probably move pretty quickly in this ground they're walking on, so I would say they'll be able to go pretty quick and get us there.
Did you come in for the show today?
I did.
World show?
I did.
And the whole time?
That's actually a good point. Yes, I was here for the whole time. As they're going in, I do want us to take just a moment, and we do have a little recap of the World Show today, and I would love to make this announcement and let everybody know that today we have already crowned one world champion, and that is the 2025 UKC World Bench Show Champion, and that is Grand Champion Papa Top Stylish Chrome, and that's Amy and Richie McDonald. That is a blue tick dog that won the World Show. This dog also won the top 10 show at the Winter Classic. And then the opposite sex was a champion, a red bone female champion, Skyline Keeping Score owned by Beth Jenkins. I was able to work some numbers today. There was 171 bench show entries today, 134 confirmed and showed today. So it was a very quality show. Sarah Lingo was our first round judge. Katrina Childers was our second round judge today, and it was a very quality type quality show. If we're able to go to that video as we're making the things, okay, and so we're going to hopefully be able to bring that to you just in a moment. And right now, as you can see here, when they let me know that we can go there, we will. But we're going to stay with our live coverage right now, going to Breeze's tree. We should be getting close, I would think. Maybe they're getting a little tired tonight. Oh.
So the dog that won the World Show, I'm seeing on your screen there that I'm not going to say just a champion, but
the one that won the World Show is a Grand
Champion?
Yes.
Okay.
And Stylish Chrome is was handled by Amy. Also won the top 10 show that is held at the Winter Classic.
Okay.
It's that was I was actually was one of the judges at that. It's a panel judge. It's a 3-panel judge, and she won that. And the way that a dog qualifies for the top 10 is they show throughout the year. And UKC invites the top 10 of each breed, and there's one chosen from each breed, and then they show overall.
You know, we got those people to thank that are breeding our hounds and breeding these dogs. Our dogs look better today than they ever did. I think we've got.
100%. We've come a long way.
You look at them top 3 dogs there tonight. Now, them things, those things look like athletes and move around like athletes, and I kind of attribute it to the people that are doing the.
And I can say this from somebody that has. I'd never got to see the top 10 show that happens on Friday night at the Winter Classic because I've always been out at a satellite club in the Master Hounds. When I had the opportunity, they called. I was actually the sub judge. I don't remember who. Somebody had gotten sick.
Well, you were down the line, right?
I was down the line.
7 or 8 people probably got sick in between them.
I learned a long time in life, if you're just available, you get to do something. And so I was available. And but getting to being there over the last few years as the Winter Classic, and seeing the red carpet, I think that Steve spoke about that UKC does. UKC rolls out a great red carpet for the top 10 show on Friday night at the Winter Classic. It's almost kind of like a setup for the TOC on the bench show side. And it's very cool to watch. And this year I was able to participate as a judge and then jump back in as a Master Hounds on Saturday night. Great event. And the good thing about that one is folks can earn points at local shows. I mean, they learn points and accumulate. And I would recommend to anybody, again, one of those things, if you go out there and you run it and you're in the top 10, go experience that one time. Yeah. And and go experience that one time, and it will be a great. I tell you a funny story about that one. Is we were on the stage. We were on the stage at the Winter Classic, and they had just put the new layout of how they set the stage up, and we were drawing out. And I was going to a satellite club, and they had all the food set up there that they was going to feed. They cater it. They feed all the bench show people. And I come off the platform with my box in my hand and was going to go into my satellite club, and I like pineapple. And they had this thing set up with all this food, and I just walked over to it and started to get some pineapple off of it. And the security guard that was there guarding the food, he put me away from the food. I didn't get any. I didn't get any pineapple.
I took one look at you and thought maybe you'd be taking the whole.
I guess maybe I was taking the whole thing, but I didn't get any pineapple at the Winter Classic.
So you're saying that on that top 10 that they accumulated points all year long.
That's right.
To get to show, so the top 10 in the nation.
The top 10, like right now, dogs are accumulating top 10 points, and they accumulate. There's a process of how, like the number of entries and all of that, but right now dogs are accumulating top 10 points, and for 2025, and the top 10 show will happen at Winter Classic of 26. And it's a cool event. It's a very cool event, the way that they have 3 rings set up, and they come in and they showcase each hound and handler, and it's just a very cool event. I'm getting word that Alan's going to have a report for us here momentarily, and so until we get ready for that, we get it told to us, we're just going to continue to bring some coverage to you guys. Okay, we just got it. Alan does have a report from the field. So Alan, what do you got?
Yeah, the cast is approaching Breeze's tree right now. They can hear her pretty good. And Trevor is saying that, but once they get to her tree, Ann is going to be about 1.5 miles away. So that's gonna be a pretty good trek, and they're trying to figure out where the trucks are and see if they can't hitch a ride maybe and head over towards to get to Ann then. But so that's what's happening right now. As we speak, they should probably be right close to Breeze's tree if they aren't already there. But then they got about 1.5 miles because I guess they're walking away from Ann here. So that's where we are right now.
All right. To our viewers, thank you for sticking with us. Just in a moment, we're going to go to break, well, maybe we're going to stay. We're getting pretty close to Breeze, and if we can stay in live coverage, let's just stay here and get into Breeze and see what we have going on. And then we maybe can set a break up going in this 1.5 mile journey back to Ann.
Ryan, how close are we to the truck?
He said we're not very
I think they see us.
Trevor?
Yeah.
Ryan said, hey, y'all come pick us up.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay. Yeah.
False promise.
He'll bring his truck and we just drag it back. Yeah.
Hey, Mikey was in the drainage pipe right.
All right. Well, I think we're going to get ready and go to that break. As we head into that break, I again want to mention our sponsors and our partners. I want to mention Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner. Our sponsors, Houndsman Advantage, Bright Eyes Lights, Razor Hunting Gear, Easy Loader Dog Kennels, Dan's Hunting Gear, Coon Dog Wear, Dakota 283, and the local sponsor, Jay County Tourism Bureau. We appreciate all of those that have helped make this event possible and to be able to bring this to you. We know we're right into the last few minutes. We hope we're able to bring a report back to you as we come out of this break. So make sure that you stay with us. Again, you have been watching the live coverage of the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championships here in Portland, Indiana. I'm Jamie Estep, Rick Stretch, Steve Burkholder, and we look forward to coming back to you as we finish out and crown our next world champion.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
If you want the chance to be featured across our social platforms, just tag at UKC Dogs or at UKC Hunting Ops on Instagram, and you can tag UKC Coonhounds on Facebook, or you can use the hashtag #DogsThatDoMore.
Your puppy only gets one start to set the foundation for a lifetime of performance at your side. Fuel growth and activity, support digestive health, and give him a training edge to one day flush, point, track, retrieve. So when the gear comes out, he'll be ready. Make every milestone count with game-changing puppy fuel. Eukanuba Premium Performance Puppy Pro.
All right, well, we are welcome back to the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship. We have a report to you from the field. Breeze was in a tile and was circled up. And so now, as we said just a moment ago, we think the guide's dad is going to be able to come and help gather the handlers and the judges up and get them to John a little quicker than what they would have to walk. As long as Ann is circled or plussed, Ann will be your next 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship. And as Rick reported just a moment ago, to set some history, you said you would love to see that first dog win Autumn Oaks and win the World Hunt. Now we have history being set.
Right.
Ann is going to be the first dog to win the TOC and the World Hunt in the same year.
Yeah.
So
pertaining on this,
maybe we didn't see the piece of history that you were talking about, but we're setting history tonight. Now we want to make mention here tonight. We have a cake that's here that we want to make.
I'm really appreciative of it too.
Well, it doesn't say your name on it, okay? It doesn't say your name on it, okay? Do I need to turn it around here?
World.
Okay, you thought this cake was for you?
Well, I thought it was.
Okay, it's not for you, okay?
It looks like you.
Yeah, you've had enough.
Well, I'm telling you.
This cake is for a young lady that helps make all these things possible. She's one of the vice presidents at UKC, and we want to wish Miss Nicole a happy birthday today. Today we celebrated her birthday and sang to her over with pizza. I thought I was going to have Rick and Steve sing to her tonight, but we won't do that. She did take her picture with Steve, Rick, and me tonight, saying that was going to be the highlight of. Oh, we have a live update from the field. The birthday girl herself. Here is Miss Nicole. Happy birthday! She looks so excited.
Nicole, yeah.
All right, let's get a report from Miss Nicole today. She going to say anything to us? She don't have anything to say. No microphone. All right. That's just your report. Happy birthday, Nicole.
Boy, what a beautiful cake
what a
this
cake.
is, too.
Now, where's the plate and the knife? Don't spill it.
No.
We've got,
Don't
just leave
start
it there. Don't touch it. It's a prop.
And I'll tell you what, for those that may not know Nicole, all you have to do is show up to a coon hunt, one of their major events, and she's always everywhere where the action's at,
Yes.
and wears many hats and does a phenomenal job with United Kennel Club in the hunt, in the shows, and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah.
So certainly happy
If
for
we have any
Nicole.
questions, we go to her or Trevor.
Yeah.
And get the answers from them too. And she does a phenomenal job, like Steve says. They're fortunate to have her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so again, we want to say happy birthday to Nicole. The sad thing of it is as long as it takes them to get to Ann, we get to keep the cake up here.
We could have this thing.
We could have this thing 8 by the time we go.
There's no security here. They're not going to push us away from this.
They didn't give us. Do you have a knife or anything
I
in
don't
your
have
pocket?
anything, but that's what we got hands for.
Well, I have a pocket knife. We could cut it, and stuff. So let's call. Anybody got John's phone number and tell him just to walk to the tree. We could eat here tonight. So guys, it's exciting finish. Oh, there comes the cake. There goes Nicole taking her.
Watch it now. Watch it.
That's what happens when you become vice president. You can just come on the stage when you want to.
So they're going to John's tree. I'm sure John's there.
Yeah, well, we have a report actually from Alan. So Alan, take us on this report.
Yeah, man, they got lucky. They hitched a ride with John's dad, and they're going to be, with Ryan's dad, the guide's dad. So they're going to be there in just a matter of just a minute or two. And so we'll gear up for how they're going to score this last tree.
And that makes me feel better since she took the cake. So we might be in better shape.
Well, you know what? Kudos to all 3 dogs. On that, dog treeing in a tile, it happens. A place of refuge for them to get to, certainly, on that side of it. So,
yeah, I just want to say to as we think back over this, and it always amazes me when I walk into these facilities, and I walk up to this set. Whether it's at the TOC or whether it's here, and how the sport of coon hunting has just evolved. I mean, being able to do this, being able to do what Houndsman Advantage is doing, and Matt Lingo and those guys being able to bring now this app to our phones, and the sport
come a long ways from waiting to figure out who on the world.
The blood, and the Coonhound bloodlines. That's right.
We don't get magazine to come out.
Just thought popped in my head. Wasn't Ann one of the top pick'ems?
Yes, she was number 3.
She was number 3.
She was number 3, and
somebody real tickled right now that they picked.
We know. I think number 1 was the Flash Dog out of Northern Indiana, and number 2 was Dope. Or Dude, I think. Yeah. And both of them went out on Thursday night, so it jumped, and she was left, and so that's a pretty exciting thing for John. And I do love the fact of what Rick said. History is being made tonight.
Yeah,
I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
It seems
anything
to be.
can happen.
Yeah. But history is being. And the thing with Ann is. It kind of seems like we're giving her moment of glory as they're going in.
A little preemptive.
And it's true. But I can guarantee you this dog's not finished. This dog is going to be somewhere in the next couple of weeks competing. I would assume that some of the world hunts coming up from the other registries, Ann's going to be there. And so whatever happens tonight, she has a future ahead of her.
Well, and just looking at these dogs' age, Smoke Show being 3, Breeze being 2, and to get this far.
These dogs got here the right way.
They got here the right way.
Now, I wonder.
Back into anything.
I don't know this, and you guys might not know it either, but I would assume not since John has owned her, but I wonder if she'd ever been bred before.
I don't know that.
I don't know that. I couldn't tell you on that.
Yeah,
I don't.
It wouldn't put me in mind that she was, but again, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know that either, but that will be someday.
She's had many different handlers, and I alluded to that on another broadcast somewhere along the line that she's had a lot of different handlers that have made it to the winner's circle with her.
Them kind
Not
of
like
special.
John has, but John's probably took her more than anybody else. But you're exactly right, Steve. Those kind of hounds that can find their way to the winner's circle with, irregardless of who turns them loose. That's really a testament to how good a hound she could be or really is.
I didn't allude to it on the podcast, but my number 3 dog for me when we did the podcast, that's probably what put my Abigail female, we called her Abby, that's probably what put her number 3 versus the 2 honorable mentions, because the 2 honorable mentions was not that style of dog, so I was the one that competed with him mostly, other than my gypsy female, Jeremy Kolick, you guys know, remember him,
Sure.
competed, did a lot of her winning with her, but Abby was one of them type of females in that scenario where you could just put somebody behind her that could call her and she could go win. Even in later years, our youngest daughter took her to a hunt and handled her one time. My wife handled her at a hunt, in her later years at like an all women's event, won her cast. I think, I don't recall it, but I know it was over 1,000 with her up in Michigan and that kind of thing. But them kind are special because not a lot of, we see in today's dogs, obviously sport has changed a lot for the better. And so dogs are exchanging hands for a good amount of sum of money. And it just seems sometimes when you take a dog that's trained by a handler and they're on a roll, and when you take that dog at 2 or 3 years old and you kind of switch handlers on them, they just never seem to win like they did with the person that got them to that point. They still win, but it just seems like that's broke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Ann is certainly not one of them. She continued to get better. And hey, John does a fantastic job. Ann's not the first one that he's won with. Smoke's not the first one that JR won with, and certainly we know the history behind Brandon.
Yeah.
That's not the first one that he won with, hunting for Jess Dickerson and that whole
Rushmeyer, that whole crew.
and all that. He was telling me a story today, Brandon, was when we was talking about world hunts, X Junior, which was a past world champion.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how Jess become on getting X Junior because he ran loose not too far from where Brandon was, and Brandon called Jess and said, you need to come, and because Brandon hunted around there, and the guy that raised him just let him run loose. And he said that he used to be out hunting, and he said this big old pup would come down there and would strike where them dogs would strike, and he would just run off and leave him, track after track, but he wouldn't stay treed because he just didn't know to, he just run loose. And he called Jess and he said, if you can ever get this one to stay treed.
Wow.
I've never seen a
I never heard that story.
And Brandon was sharing that with me today. And X Junior, as we know, went on to win the world hunt.
Yeah.
And that's how he started. So Brandon was talking about past world champions. And I think that was, I don't know, the year that Jess won it.
I don't know
with
either.
X Junior. And that pup that run loose would come take them tracks away from his dogs. And that's kind of, of course, and then he started, of course, he was hunting with Jess at that point. So
Yeah.
it was really interesting hearing him share that side of it on that side for sure.
I want to say one more time to our viewers, almost in a repetitive, reminded fashion. Go out and get involved. Go out and get qualified for the 2026 UKC World Coonhound Championships. All of that information will be put out at a very relevant time, a near future time. But you typically know when the RQEs start in your area. Go out and get that dog qualified. Don't forget about the TOC. Go out and get those final cast wins in there. And I just want to say about the TOC, just to help Rick or Steve get his one more moment, I need to make sure that the dog that I'm a part of gets 2 more cast wins to get involved for the TOC. Probably won't hunt him because of master hounds unless I can get a handler on him. But it's a grand pup of big country too. So that's
That's the one you post them pictures and videos on, and you laying them drags for it down in West Virginia and stuff like that.
I'm trying to use your
the rolling
tactic.
cage.
That's why I'm trying to use the tactic.
You up to that, right?
I'm trying to put the tactic.
The rolling cage and treeing contest.
Yeah.
Do I need to try a roll cage instead of a drag?
Well,
We're going live here. They may be getting close to
All right, let's see what we got.
Street. I don't know if we got audio or not, but
Yeah, we got
I don't
something.
know about that.
They might be too tired to talk now.
Looks like it froze up on us a little bit there.
But I might try that roll cage thing. I might need to call.
It works for me and Cody.
I might need to call him and see how you exactly do that.
The older the dog, the better it works too.
Is it?
One would think that, of course it's froze there or whatever, but one would think that John has had, he alluded today when we were sitting there talking about one of the trees he got to last night and had to sit there for 25 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 40 minutes, yeah.
On that side of it.
He's used to it.
So we should know momentarily, folks, who the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Champion is. You could be a part of history here just in a moment, and we should know that. So we hope that you've had a great time tonight. Stay with us. We're just only a few moments away from crowning the next world champion. So stay with us. We're excited to have you, and we're glad that you've been on this night with us as well. So what time do we have, Mr. Root?
It's been 30 minutes since the hunt was over. We're
Okay.
at 11:17, and so these hunts don't always end at the end of the 2 hours.
That's right.
And so we're just patiently waiting.
And we know we probably cut 30 minutes off that from just the handlers getting a ride.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
sure of it.
Hey, that doesn't always happen.
No.
Judging many of these casts over the years, and again, just going back, just one more little shout out to our judges. I've been on many casts where you get down to the end and you have multiple dogs to score, and literally you walk, because you're usually as a judge one of the very few that walks to every one. And that's what happened this weekend. We heard it a lot where after the hunt is over, trees still, any trees that are made, tree calls that are made have to be scored after the hunt is over. So if it matters, obviously. So when you're looking at that scenario, there's a lot of judges that may walk a mile after the hunt is over, after they've done and walked 2 or 3 miles.
And I want to say too, we talked about tonight thanking our judges. But there was another group of hunters here this week that was working to bring things to you, the viewers. Some of them were the judges that was doing this also, but Houndsman Advantage had worked tirelessly to have scorekeepers on the cast, with the guides being put, but he had scorekeepers on there that was using the app to bring the coverage. So sometimes you had a judge, you had a guide, and you had a person representing Houndsman Advantage there as a scorekeeper. And so these are guys that a lot of times is going to work. Let's see what we got. We might have an update. Trevor's down to losing his hat. He's wore out. He might be asleep standing up.
It took us a lot longer. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nope, they do see us. Hey, you want to update us? Sure. By the way. Go for it.
Hey, I appreciate everybody sticking with us, man. We've had an awesome cast. I got to thank our guide, Ryan Davidson. His dad came and picked us up down there, saved us a lot of walking, a lot of miles, and now we're just about 100 yards away from scoring the last tree of the World Championship, Little Ann's tree right down here. So we're about to walk down and see what she's got, guys.
All right.
Okay, so they're at the tree.
100 yards away from...
what do you do, Rick? Go in there, and if it's a definite circle, you say, I'm good.
Yeah, well, Chad will probably shine it for a little bit to just confirm that good is good.
Yeah.
But, knowing John, he'll probably want to try to give as much credit he can to his little dog and probably shine the full time if the tree warrants it. Pretty exciting here to see what's going to happen. Either Brandon or John are going to be wearing a title here in a few minutes.
It locked up on us again. So no, there we go.
If she does end up, think about this, y'all. If she does end up wrapping up this world title here at this tree, what an incredible run! In my mind, in my recent recollection, I don't remember of a dog being this hot for this amount of time.
Yeah.
in this short of a time period.
Yeah, she's been one of the best. She's a history maker, whether she's got it here or not.
They should be getting there. Now the suspense. All right, guys. Well, we'll hopefully can get back to you and to be able to see. Here we are. We're right back out there. I'm assuming we are at Ann's tree now. But I don't hear her. There she is. There we go. It for sure looks like a tree that they can score. You're looking at the tree that will decide the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hopefully we can get back out there for you just in.
Let me tell you the bad thing. You walk in this little bitty tree, and if you're walking in,
We can still hear
great big
ourselves.
tree back here with Ricky sitting in it, where she done missed him, you thinking, look. There's an opposite right there.
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Yeah, you're walking in going, oh my God.
We got Strickland here. He's got it there. And we're about to go live.
Look at them hot water fences right there.
You want to get the dog in the background, Mike? Or or is this a good one to get her?
I think this is best. We'd have to bring the dog up here.
Here we go.
Want to get the dog? Sure. Okay. You got what you need.
He's going to get his dog. This is the interview that John is used to making. Guys, you have just watched history. Rick spoke to the fact that there's never been a person win National Granted Autumn Oaks and the World Hunt. Now we have the first person to win the TOC and the UKC World in the same year.
Yes.
This is Mr. John Strickland.
Well,
Come on up here, World Champion.
I've been chasing.
Man, congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Man, what a scene.
This ain't emotional. This is out of breath. Okay, so we walked a lot, and I got a cold, and all that good stuff. But I've been chasing since I was 9 years old.
Man, you won about every hunt you could sit there and list it off, but the World Championship has alluded.
Yeah,
we talked about it a little bit earlier.
I hadn't won this one back.
Yeah.
Anyway,
was there ever a doubt over there at the barn that she
always a doubt? There's always a doubt. She's normally got them, and I mess with people. Greg didn't give me heck. They'll be like 382 in a row. I said no, it was 32 in a row. But anyway, that's all well and good. But
hey, I know coming down that hill that you probably we didn't know lights were up there, but we could probably tell it was good, and you probably known for a bit just walking down the hill there. Well,
we come from this way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I come past this coon first.
Oh.
I seen this coon. We come up down this hill and seen him glaring.
Yeah.
And I'm over here on a bush, and I'm like, man, I wanted to holler at Tappy and say, go that way and stand. I really didn't. Golly, it's just, man, I don't know. It's
what do you?
All right. Well, we know now who our 2025 UKC World Coonhound Champion is, and it is Grand Night Champion Willie's Little Ann, owned by John Strickland and handled by John. Also, Ashley Oxidine, Doug Galbraith, and Randy Smith. And I'm sure John is another one that has an entourage with him usually.
Sure.
And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of smiles and phone calls being made right now
I'm going to call John out. I know he said he was tired. He's not emotional. I'll promise you he was a little emotional.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
Life that I felt, I've owned many more than that we get closer, get in and whatever, but I've owned 3 that I felt was like worthy of having a world champion title in front of their name.
Yeah.
And this was one of them of the 3, and I said, the dog is worthy. And it feels.
All right. Well, you can hear the emotions in John's voice again there. And it really speaks to the, one of you guys said tonight, it really speaks to the prestige.
You're making me cry. So.
She did it again. She did it again.
She did,
man. Congratulations to you, man.
She's been good to us. She's been good. J.R. Gray and Ellis, Eric Emery, my gosh, I know he's got countless hours with this dog. And, they
and your co-owners too.
Yeah, I mean, no, those guys.
All out here, but ready to congratulate you, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, those guys, they're 12 hours from here, and they ain't handling. They can't even go on a cast. Only one of them can go, so they out there. Well, I don't get to go. You know what I mean? And but I mean, it's just amazing. They drop everything they got, businesses and family. And Ashley's little girl, she's got 2 little babies. The day at lunch, I was like, "Daddy, when you coming home?" And I'm like,
"Yep, absolutely.
You're out here because of me."
A lot of people sacrifice to make this happen
dude,
right here.
Yeah,
this didn't just happen tonight or this weekend. There's a lot of sacrifices that go into this.
It's not. I mean, it's like last week. I was so sick. I left the zones on Sunday. I was so sick I couldn't get out of bed. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I knew this dog needed a hunt. So like Jordan Mullins and Jacob Bennington, they hunted her a couple nights during that just to keep her tight and right. And then I got back to working hunting. I literally, I'd never felt like.
Well, we've spoke to that as well.
Every time I get to choking, I'm thinking.
The team effort that John is speaking of is the many people that made this possible for Ann. And even going back to the former owners of Ellis and JR, and then speaking of Eric Emery that spent a lot of time on the dog.
Miles, hours, countless hours.
And so, guys, again, I just want to say thank you and congratulations to John, to Ashley, to Doug, and to Randy. Congratulations to those 4. And just a huge congratulations to John. Seeing the emotions of a man that's won what he has won tells you the caliber, the prestige, the premier of winning this event. And we appreciate that from him and excited about it. I guess now they're walking back to the trucks, and I don't know exactly what we're going to see when we get there, but we know that they're going. Steve, was you going to say something?
Well, he alluded to a point that he's been chasing it, not to expose John, but he's just a few years older than I am. But he alluded to the point that he's been chasing this title since he's been 9. You know what I mean? And now it's finally become real for him. And also the little bits of the interview that I caught there is, he felt like there was, 4 dogs he had in his lifetime that was really worthy of a world title. And it just goes to show you how hard this title is to win. And for me, I think of my top 3, and I really believe that them top 3 was worthy of a world title, but it just never worked out,
We're going to be able to go to Alan and get our final report. And Alan, what do you got?
Well, I just this will be my final report here for the night, and I just, man, what a hunt we had there. A bunch of trees that were made. If you were watching this tonight, you were probably definitely sitting on your seat most of the night. Unfortunately, you get out deep in the woods, and we knew this would be a good spot for them to hunt. We were a little concerned about some of the service, but you give up a little bit of service issues sometimes for a great place to hunt, and this was one of those definitely. but tried to bring you the best coverage we could. We hope you enjoyed it there at the very end. We thought, gosh, we got lucky and are able to get that, so it's kind of in and out. But you did see the emotions of a world champion right there, and John's done a lot of winning in his time, and you could definitely see how much this win does mean to him. So I'm glad we got at least part of that. But I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to this live stream tonight and watching this World Championship unfold. And we've certainly enjoyed it here at Jay County Fairgrounds this weekend. Want to thank everybody that was a part of it, and most importantly, appreciate all the viewers tuning in to watch this Coonhound World Championship Finals.
All right. Well, I just want to take a moment and remind all of our viewers we have now crowned the 2025 two world champions. We've crowned the UKC World Bench Show Champion, which is Grand Champion Papa Top Stylish Chrome, owned by Amy and Richie McDonald, and our 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship, which is Willie's Little Ann, owned by John Strickland. There we have a picture of her, Ashley Oxidine, Doug Galbraith, and Randy Smith. Congratulations to Amy and Richie, and congratulations to all the owners that are part of Little Ann. And we truly want to say congratulations to them. We are again very thankful for our sponsors that make this possible. That's going to come up before you one more time, and I would just encourage you to go out and support these folks. Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner. Our sponsors of Houndsman Advantage, Matt Lingo, Bright Eyes Lights, Ray Conrad Razor Hunting Gear, Johnny Watkins, Easy Loader Dog Kennels, Dan's Hunting Gear, Coon Dog Wear, and then a local, and then Dakota 283 as well. A local sponsor was the Jay County Tourism Bureau. I want to say tonight, my name is Jamie Estep. It's been my pleasure, it's always my pleasure to bring to you and to be your host this programming. It's one of the greatest things that I get to do, to be able to promote a sport that I love. And if I were to say the last thing to you, go out and get qualified for the 2026 UKC World Championship and be a part. It starts with going and getting qualified. I want to say thank you to Nicole, to Alan, and to Trevor, and the whole UKC team for allowing us to be a part of this weekend. I want to say thank you to Steve and to Rick, and to being able to work with these guys. And so, Steve, your closing thoughts, what do you have?
Well, again, just we probably made history, or maybe not, but I just want to emphasize, I want to give a huge shout out to all the hunters that come here this weekend and participated and made this hunt what it is. Not one single question all weekend. That's a huge testament to the judges, but also a huge testament to the hunters coming and representing what they do. So just super excited for John and the whole gang on winning the UKC World Hunt. Certainly, like you shared, Jamie, thank you to everybody that makes this possible. And for all the people that behind the scenes, from the production crew, they're awesome to work with, from the people that run the cameras and that are behind this screen that put all this together. I never realized until I got to be asked to be a part of this, the work that goes in, the hours of the planning that goes in, and we're just a little part of it. We enjoy it. Like you, I enjoy coming here every year and being a part of it. It's very special. I don't take it for granted, and I look forward to coming back into TOC in 2026 and doing it all over again. And certainly, Jamie and Rick, I know we kid each other, but I couldn't ask two better people to share a weekend with. We get to do it twice a year, and certainly we have a lot of fun. We pick on each other, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of fun, and I don't take it for lightly. So thank you guys as well.
Rick?
Yeah, I'll second that as well. And I'll get back to the hunt here just a little bit. 2 years in a row, Willie has produced the world champion.
That's worth mentioning.
That's crazy.
Himself being a world champion.
And he's a world champion. And
it's incredible.
It just goes back to the quality of hounds that enter this event, the quality of the people, the quality of the hounds. It's phenomenal. And I enjoyed it. It's the two greatest weekends of the year for me. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy sitting up here and we cut up and carry on. And it's unfortunate sometimes we don't have the best coverage that we can get, but we will make up for it in other places, and we will make up for it for giving the hunters the best that they can get here. Kudos to UKC and what all they do for everybody that shows up here. I'm just proud to be a part of it, proud for the opportunity.
Yes. And once again, to our viewers, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for the kind words that we received just checking my phone on breaks. Thank you to those folks, and thank you to all that have watched us tonight. Again, my name is Jamie Estep. You've been watching the coverage of the 2025 UKC World Coonhound Championship. We have co-host or expert panel, I should say, Steve Burkholder, Rick Stretch, and again, thank you for coming, and we'll see you at the TOC.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
If you want the chance to be featured across our social platforms, just tag at UKC Dogs or at UKC Hunting Ops on Instagram, and you can tag UKC Coonhounds on Facebook. Or you can use the hashtag Dogs That Do More.
Your puppy only gets one start to set the foundation for a lifetime of performance at your side. Fuel growth and activity, support digestive health, and give him a training edge to one day flush, point, track, retrieve. So when the gear comes out, he'll be ready. Make every milestone count with game-changing puppy fuel. Eukanuba Premium Performance Puppy Pro.